Okay, and we are live. I'm just gonna click on everything, make sure everything's working. Let's go ahead and mute that guy. I'm just checking on the Twitch live stream to make sure it's working. Oh, it feels so weird to be back. It's been a while, yeah. And fashionably late as always. I was dealing with some technical difficulties because it's just been so long since I've done this. I was like, I don't remember how to get all my stuff set up properly. And then I also had to like start adjusting the audio channels. It's like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I need to like do stuff. I couldn't just like hit the stream button and we'd be all good. That's not how this stuff works, you know? But yeah, no, it's been a while. I want to talk about that a little bit. We got some stuff going on today, but I also want to make sure I can get this stuff tweeted out. How do I get my YouTube link? I forget if I normally... I think I normally just like go... Oh, share. I click the share button. See, we're getting back into it. Let's just go ahead and hit copy. I hate when you like copy a link from most places. Like, a lot of places will be like, oh, here, it's like a nice, simple, tiny link. This thing at youtube.com, like that kind of stuff. When you hit the share button, it just sends you a monstrosity. It's so ugly. Oh shoot, I just deleted one of the... Oh no. Scuffing it already. I deleted one of the numbers in in the link. There we go. Hang on. Paste. There we go. Flop. Okay, you know, it's fine. We're just gonna get that stuff posted. There we go. Okay. And everything seems to be running well. But yeah, no, it's been a long time. Basically what happened is, I'm sure if you watched my stuff before, you know that I've been dealing with some like issues with like my hands and my legs, where it's been like very painful and like it gets worse when I use them kind of stuff. Like if it was just like painful when I used it, to an extent I could just be like, it's not the worst pain in the world, I could just deal with it. But it's the fact that it would actively like make my condition worse to like use them for like most things and like even like little things for too long. So I ended up taking a long like mental health and like physical health break from a lot of stuff, and I probably should have like talked about it more, but it's one of those things of like, oh, it's probably not going to be like too long, you know what I mean? It's probably going to be like a little while, and then a little while turned into a few weeks, and then a few weeks turned into a few months, and then a few months. Now we're back, you know, after just another short break, because this is like the second time this has happened with the hand stuff in particular, but we may or may not be getting close to like actually figuring it out. It feels very much so like we're constantly taking like one step forward, one step back. Maybe sometimes we'll take like a step and a half forward and then another step back. So like the pain's a lot better, probably the best it's been ever since this all started, and I can start like using them again for like little things. Like I've been able to start like playing like some like light video games. Like over on my other channel I've been recording a lot of stuff for like Silent Hill. It takes like 3 or 4 sessions of sitting down to record like an hour, but I'm still able to like do it. You know, so I'm like starting to be able to like get back into things. I can't handle like, I made the horrible mistake. I booted up like ZZZ because I'm like, everyone's raving about this game. I did the first fight and I was like, yeah, no, I can't. I'm not doing this today. That was awful. But yeah, no, we're like making some progress. And on the 9th, we're going to be looking at like maybe doing an invasive surgery. We're not going to be doing it on the 9th. We're probably just going to be like talking about it and like setting it up on the 9th. Just because like, depending on how much more progress I make over the next couple days. But I've had to change like a lot of things in my life, like because it could be tendonitis and that's hard to diagnose. So I've done a lot of stuff in my life, like changing my diet to like try and get like inflammation down. Which just involves eating like a lot of grapes, almonds, guacamole, which is awesome, but it also involves eating a lot of salmon. And I do not like salmon, but I'm like, you know what? If it helps get rid of this pain, that's what I'll be eating for the next couple of weeks. You know what I mean? So I've started that. It's been fine. It's been fine. I'm like hoping that maybe I could like placebo myself into like it going away. Because there's also a second angle that I'm approaching this from. I'm approaching it from 2 different angles. I'm approaching it from it still being like a very real physical thing that's like going on in my body, and I'm also trying to approach it from the idea that it could be chronic pain. Because of how long it's been going on for, there's a huge possibility that it's done stuff to like my nervous system and my brain, and now it makes me think that I'm always in pain, or like if I do anything that like caused pain before, my brain thinks it's like causing pain now, you know? So I've been like in therapy for it. I've been doing like some like programs for it and stuff. And again, also just going along with like trying to placebo myself and like being like, no, I'm healing. The stuff I'm doing, it's healing me, you know? I'm trying very hard to do that. And I'm just gonna pull up, I just want to check on the YouTube live stream, because sometimes the YouTube live stream, okay, is a little weird. So yeah, no, I'm trying to approach it from a lot of different angles to get this taken care of, because I'd like to just get back to like doing stuff, like whether it be like just stuff for like streams or like YouTube or just like stuff in general. I just want to get back to doing that kind of stuff. But part of, if it is chronic pain, is to like start getting back into doing stuff that you enjoy and not letting it hold you back as much, still allowing like some pain in, but once it like starts getting like sharp. And this also like the advice I was given for if it's like still like very much so like a condition that I have, like again, if it is tendonitis, of like get back to doing stuff. If it turns into bad sharp pain or like sharp pain at all, like it should be like dull pain essentially, then stop doing it. But up until that point, you can do stuff. So that's basically the plan. Is we're gonna get back to like streaming visual novels and stuff, and probably gonna go do like 1 or 2 more visual novels, and then we're gonna start playing like some like, again, like light RPGs. Like there's a new Pokemon ROM hack out there called Seagrass Emerald, I think it is, which is it's just beautiful. I love the look of it. It looks impeccable. It is the cutest Pokemon game ever. I love it. And then there's also like, I want to play like Persona 3. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Maybe Undertale, maybe not. I've seen a little bit of gameplay because I'm like, I've bobbed and weaved around Undertale spoilers for like the past like how long, like 10-ish, 11-ish years, something like that. And so I was like, you know what, I should probably look up a little bit to see if it is actually just a standard like turn-based RPG. And it looks like it's a bit more involved than that. So I'm like, maybe that one will be for later, a little bit later on, you know what I mean? Just a little bit later. But it's also kind of getting to the point of like, hey man, if this I've seen a little bit of shoot, my Twitch stream just started going at me. If it keeps like not getting better after we finish a couple more visual novels, because like, guys, you know me, like, listen, it takes us like 15 months to finish one visual novel. So if it's still going after a couple more, I'm just gonna say, you know, we're just gonna ball. I'm just gonna get back to doing stuff, and if it hurts, it hurts. Oh well, that kind of my mentality on it. I don't know if that's a good mentality to have, but I'm like, I don't want to stop doing stuff forever, so I'm just gonna get back to, again, if it goes on for too much longer, I'm just gonna be like, we're just gonna do stuff and play through the pain, essentially. That's my goal. I'm gonna like talk to the doctors, like see if like, hey, is this okay to do? And especially if they give us the green light, like, hey, yeah, no, like, dog, like, we can't figure this out. Just do stuff again. Then that'll be awesome. So that's the plan. But again, there is going to be a potential surgery on the 9th, which is basically, it's not like a major, like, oh no, like a surgery, like I would have to like recover from it for a long time kind of thing. It's mostly just gonna be like a little thing. They're gonna look in my wrist to see if they can like visually see anything wrong in there, essentially diagnose anything that way. And I'm kind of of 2 minds of that, of like, I kind of hope that they do. I also kind of hope that they don't, because like, I don't know. It's sort of like, if what I'm doing is working and gets me better, then like, I would love that. But if it's not, then I would love it if they could find something and just be like, oh, that's the thing doing the pain and stuff to you. We can fix that, you know? That's kind of my mentality about it. But yeah, with that being said, I want to read out a couple of things, because a couple of people followed, and I want to give them some shout-outs. So thank you to Code Lucky Coon, I think it's Sariel, Pachiwachi, which is an adorable name, Kalista Dragon Soul, Satyr of Strategy, Test7782, Sithith Fan 1, Theo Minute, oh, thank you, Theo, Prosto Pop Prof, and Ari Song, thank you. Thank you for everyone for following, especially with me being away for so long. But yeah, no, there's a lot of things coming up that we're going to be doing, and there's one thing coming up today, but there's also a couple things coming up in like the next couple of weeks. Oh wait, I have one more thing to do before we officially get in there. I gotta share the code, and it's fun because like the Studio Elena Ambassador stuff is the next stuff I was going to talk about. For those who don't know, they're currently doing like a game jam over the next couple of weeks. The link didn't work. Why did the link not work? I'm very good at this. It's been so long. It's been so long since I've done this Twitch stuff and YouTubes and everything, I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. But yeah, they're doing a game jam, which I think if you're interested in that, if you're like interested in visual novels, which if you're here, I'm assuming you are, you should definitely go and check out Leary's channel, and you should check out Mary Aurelia's, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm terrible with names. Someone could tell me their name 50 times, and I'd still be like, is this how you pronounce it though? So everyone should go check out their channels because they've done some live streams about us like introducing the concept, and then like we're doing like update streams over the next couple of weeks, being like, here's like the progress that's being made on all of these games over the course of September. Because basically it's like a bunch of like different teams. They're making 4 different games that are being released at the end of September, and all for free, which is super awesome, by the way, and they all look incredible so far. I watched Mari's stream earlier while I was working, and I was like, everything they were showing, and it's like, it's only 3 days in, and everything that they were showing, I'm like, oh, this already looks so good. I'm so excited for my stream when I like get to present and talk about all this stuff in like a lot more detail, when like, you know, like when we're like things are like getting closer to being finalized. I'm so excited for that. But yeah, so again, if you're interested with that, go check them out, because again, we talked about it like more in like its introduction stream, and then Mari talked a lot about it in their stream. And they have some special guests on there, so you should go check that out. And I don't want to talk too much about what they like showed and talked about there, so then you can go watch it and like not have me just reiterate everything that they said, essentially. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for it. Everything looks awesome. And then what we're getting into today is, if you played it before, you can probably recognize the music. One of the reasons I was a little late was because I was trying to get my, for some reason, I have a music compilation, and over the past like little bit I've been like editing it together, getting newer songs in there, like other stuff to listen to, because like one of the reasons I don't use my music compilation when we're in the just chatting, like before we get into what we're doing in the stream stuff, is that I only had like 3 or 4 songs that I had a lot other, I had so many more songs to put into it that I would just never put into it. So I finally gone ahead and done that, but now it's not working. Now it's only playing a single song that's only like 45 seconds long, and it's not my favorite song in there. So I'm like, yeah, no, Summer has like really good music on its title screen, because I was also again doing some audio testing at the beginning, like before stream. So I'm like, we're just gonna listen to this today. We're just gonna rely on the old classic of menu music to like listen to right now. But yeah, no, we're gonna jump into that, and I'm really excited for this, because like I know so little about this game. I've avoided like all spoilers. I've seen like a little bit of gameplay, and by that I mean like 10 minutes of like somebody else's stream. Like I think it was like a few hours in already, so I had 0 context. I was like, dog, this looks really cool. I'm not gonna keep watching because I don't want to be spoiled. So but yeah, no, we're here, and I'm really excited to get into it. So with that being said, let's just start.
Hey there, Willowmere, and whoever else is listening. This is Summer and Anson, coming at you live from the Willowmere Community Center.
I was about to ask if we had like a podcast. Oh, you can also see my mouse. I should get that out of there.
You and I have got
there
a
we
little
go.
bit of sunshine left to enjoy. I've been running around setting up chairs and beds all day. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna sit down and get right into the music.
I just realized my controller is not working. Okay, we're gonna rely on old mouse today. That's fine. I'm just gonna put it over here. The reason I like keeping my mouse around is so I can gesture to stuff. Like I gesture to stuff that's on screen all the time. Like when I was like talking about like recording like some Silent Hill stuff a little bit earlier, I was like, oh hey guys, like look at this thing, and then I just point at the screen like a complete doofus, and I'm like, you guys can't see what I'm gesturing to, and then I have to use the mouse to do it. So that's why I like keeping the mouse on. So we're just gonna keep doing that. I hit play and then slide into my seat like a melted ice cream cone as the sound of piano and guitar fade in. Sunlight streams in through the window, and I bask like a cat in the beams. Twilight, my favorite time of day, comes to greet me personally. For the first time since this morning, I'm able to take a moment to relax and breathe. I haven't sat down for hours. I'm not used to having so much to do. Every day there have been more and more tourists arriving in town, and they've all got to get set up somewhere. Oh, what was that? I got a little notification.
Midgelato_ is now following.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Thank you. What was that name? Was it? Hang on. I can check it. I have things pulled up. I'm trying to be more professional. Mint Gelato, that is an incredible name. I love it. That sounds delicious. They've also got to get fed, get shown around, and tell me cool facts about wherever they're visiting from. It's mandatory. Although I just realized that it didn't play on screen. It's supposed to play on screen. It wouldn't be one of my streams without, scuff, you know, without technical issues, you know, so it's fine, I'll figure that out later along with the music compilation. Sometimes I get lost in their stories. I could probably get a lot more done in a day if I wasn't always poking and prodding for more details. Do the trees where you're from really reach all the way up to the sky? Do the rocks on your planet really squish underfoot when you walk on them? Is it true that the night sky is a different color every night? That's the stuff I want to know and hear about. The kind of stuff I've never gotten to see for myself. For every person like me who's never done or seen anything that memorable, it seems like there are 2 or 3 who've gone rock climbing in an asteroid belt or helped map out a new planet. After learning about some of these people's lives, I just have to hope that they won't leave Florell disappointed next week. Since I've been one of the community center's volunteers for a while, I got put in charge of a whole welcome crew. Our main job has been setting up temporary housing for all the folks flying in, but I've ended up running a lot of other errands too. As exhausting as it's been, I don't know what I'll do when things go back to normal in a few days. I've gotten kinda used to falling asleep early and sleeping in late. I'm sure my legs will appreciate it at least. With one song nearing its end, I flip through a list on my phone to pick the next one. But before I can choose, there's a deep reverberation from somewhere that begins to rumble around the room. After the initial surprise wears off, I rest my head on my hands. Here we go again. I disconnect the microphone temporarily to avoid blaring any crazy feedback. The rumbling shifts and loud music fills the air, pouring in from beyond the window. Plucked strings, a distant melody that... Oh, this music's so good. This music's so good, oh my gosh. For this stream, I was like, you know, I want to try, like, going and, like, interrupting, like, the story less, and we'll talk about, like, we'll go, like, maybe, like, a scene and then talk about what's going on, or, like, if it's been a while, then I'll be like, oh, here's my thoughts on what's happening, haha, commentary stuff. But, like, I really like the sound of that, and it just caught me really off guard, so I was like, I need to comment on that. It lasts only a few seconds before it fades away, and the shaking disappears with it. With a sigh, I go live again.
Sorry about that, if you heard it. Celestial noise. Same as every other day lately. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty over it. At first, it was all cool and mysterious, but now it's just kinda annoying. Like, it's woken me up a few nights in a row. At least let me hear the whole song. Anyway, here's something a lot nicer to listen to. A live clip from Willowmere High's orchestra and choir last week. You'll be able to hear them at the CosCon soon too. Less than a week to go.
Stretching and yawning, I just stare out the window and enjoy the music. Also, I just caught out of the order of my eye how, like, my mouse actually looks on screen right now, and that's so funny. I thought if I held it off to the side, it'd be, like, not visible or only barely visible. It's so fun that it's just sitting there at the bottom. I kind of love that. I kind of love it. Also, gosh, the art in this game is so pretty. Like, just look at, like, on the title screen, like, I was thinking, like, man, like, all the lighting in this does such a good job of, like, setting, like, a very, like, atmospheric feel to everything, and, like, that's all I'm seeing here is, like, just such great lighting is being done here. Oh, it looks so good. Also, I guess this is, like, a sci-fi thing. I think on, like, the website for Summer, it's called, like, a solar punk, and I looked at that and I was like, I have no idea what that means. And I kind of had, like, a thought of, like, maybe it's about, like, space and stuff. Because from, like, the little bit I saw, it looked like very, like urban, if that makes sense. Like, very, like, you know, something you could just see down the street, kind of, like, settings, essentially. But, like, she's already talking about, like, oh, like, going rock climbing in an asteroid belt, or, like, having people come from, like, other planets and stuff like that. So I'm like, ooh, that's already, like, so interesting. From up here, I get the best view of the city that anyone can have, all the way to the edge of Willowmere, and then beyond it, past the tiny dot that's my own house, through the fields and flowers, and all the way to the distant smudge of Petalstreak. Lately, storm clouds have made even the usual sights a lot more foggy, but the sun has managed to win for now. Even twilight fades as the glow of the street lamps and buildings takes its place. There's a steady trickle of ships returning home for the evening, and a few taking off for somewhere else. Before long, a kaleidoscope of colors blooms. the warm yellows of homes mixing with all the crazy shades from the street signs and shops. I can identify a lot of them by shape or by shade. A crooked neon banner marks Willowmere's premier watering hole. A row of soft blue orbs light the creek trail. All the evenings I've spent up here have instilled me with a complicated love for this town and planet. Affection mixed with some other kind of feeling. It's not nostalgia and it's not melancholy, but it's definitely related to them both. A longing for something that I don't even know. Watching ships go in and out, people watching windows light up, there's a life and a story behind every one of them, isn't there? I wish there were still new things for me to see out that window. That's so based and relatable, honestly. I was like, as she was like describing them, I'm like, I relate to that so hard. Like I was just out for like a walk right before getting out, before starting stream, and I was like literally having like those, like, not like word for word, but just very similar to like trying to like describe that kind of feeling of like, what is it? And she put it very well. By the time my show comes to an end, 3 hours after I started, things have gone from bustling to empty. That's nothing new either. On the days that I do my show, I'm usually the last to leave. The community center is such a part of everyone's life that most people just call her Cece, like an old friend. Weirdos like me say her instead of it. Sometimes when I'm bored, I'll daydream about what I think she'd be like if she was an actual person. Maybe I have a little too much time on my hands.
Good night, Willowmere.
Even if there's no one listening anymore, it always feels like I should say something before switching off the lights. I hum to myself as I get on the elevator. Some nights I'll take the stairs down. Tonight is definitely not one of them. Through the glass windows, I watch Cece's floors flow past. Besides a huge digital archive of everything everywhere ever written, it has a pretty big collection of real inked and paper books. It's one of the only ones in our local planetary system. Sometimes, Mom stays here browsing until closing time. There's also a video game archive, practice rooms for musicians, free history lectures, and even the skeleton of this giant, Earth-based lizard monster. Basically, it has whatever you could want. These floors look kind of lonely as I pass them by. Pretty much every light in the building is out. The elevator dings to a stop, and I step out into a sitting area with plenty of plush chairs. During the day, every one of them is occupied. Maybe someone made a medical breakthrough here today, or put the finishing touches on a new masterpiece of literature. Maybe there's a pair of young lovers who settled on what planet to visit for their honeymoon. I pass through the lobby silently and step out into the cool night air. I've been inside long enough for some of the clouds to roll back in and threaten me with rain. Their scare tactics motivate me to muster up the energy to hurry home, or at least walk a little faster than usual. When I was younger, I used to think that puddles were portals to other worlds. Silly kid stuff, I know, but I jumped headfirst into a lot of puddles. I just imagined a little Summer just like actually like getting ready for like a swan dive straight into a puddle. That, oh, the amount of concussions. But no, that's such a real feeling of just like walking around. I had like the fear of like a little bit like not as like romantic as that of being like, oh, I'm gonna go to another world, time to jump in. It was always like there's like videos made about it, like, oh, if I step into that puddle, what if it's a lot deeper than I thought and I just fall into like an endless void essentially. I had those thoughts as a kid. All I ever got, of course, were wet socks and 2 ticked off moms when I got home, but that never stopped me from jumping. I miss that version of me sometimes, the younger, more naive Summer. Here I am more than 10 years later, trying to avoid puddles on my walk home. Fireflies flicker just like the city lights on the horizon. There's a chalk drawing on the park sidewalk that's been washed away by the rain. There's something about this time of year that makes me think of back then more than usual. I guess it's cliche since I'm named after it, but summer has always been my favorite season. It was the season for dreaming big and making plans for the breaks. Those plans never took my friends and me anywhere more exciting than a sleepover at each other's houses, but that was enough. And we always swore that someday we'd go on a real adventure together. Oh, hang on. I'm looking up, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to guess that this is going to be like a sad tale of how they never got to go on any of those adventures, and it's going to be her being like, I wish I still had these friends with me, and I wish that we were like still together, like reminiscing about being kids and stuff like that. You know, normal, super non-relatable adult stuff, you know? Stuff that no one's ever gone through before. Even though it's been 4 years since we all parted ways, I can't help but getting a little wistful. Ah, gosh, this is already... I can already tell that this is going to make me cry later. Nowadays, it's the season for seeing groups of kids come to visit Cece's just like we used to, and being on the other side of the reception desk. The walk home only takes 20 minutes or so. I cross the bridge outside our house and quietly enter the front door. All the lights are off, including in Mom and Ma's rooms. That's such a cute way to like refer to them differently. Instead of being like Mom and Mom, it's like Mom and Ma's. That's adorable. I love that. So they must both be asleep already. I kick off my shoes at the door and head upstairs silently, being careful to step over the squeaky fourth stair. Sneaking in like this is a bit nostalgic itself. The main difference is that this time, I'm not trying to avoid getting caught. I just don't want to disturb my parents. Oh, I would love to have like a little greenhouse like this. Like, okay, good to go back to the walk I was going through earlier. One of the neighbors has like an arch that like has like plants like put all around it that's like kind of dying, probably from like the summer heat and everything and not being like well watered and stuff like that. But I was just saying that thing like, oh gosh, one of the things I want to do when I get my hands back is I want to start like gardening and stuff, just because like I've always loved it, but I'm the type of person who like once I get something as a routine, I'm really good at it. Up until that point, I'm terrible at it. So plants are something terrible to be bad at like having in your routine for a while, because it usually just leaves them dying before I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta water that every morning. By the time I get to that point, I'm like, oh, it's not here anymore. It's not with us anymore. Time to go have like a little plant funeral kind of thing, you know? Oh. But just seeing this just reminded me of that, like, oh, I really want to like have a greenhouse or something. Before I head up to my room, I shut off the lights in the greenhouse. Ma always keeps it on for me when I stay out late.
Good night.
If I say that to an empty radio room, it's only fair that I say it to the plants too, right? She is such a cutie patootie saying goodnight to all of these rooms. She kind of like talked about like how like might be weird, like she's getting like a little too like lowly or something. I'm just like, you know what? It's just like a cute little quirk. In my bedroom, I start to get ready for bed, but before I climb in, I go to take one last look out my window. If I'm lucky, I'll get a full night's sleep tonight, one without an earful of noise from another universe shocking me awake. If there's one thing I didn't get from my mom's, it's their ability to just fall right back asleep. Oh yeah, that's something that happened earlier that I wanted to touch on it. I was talking about like, oh yeah, like it's all about like space and stuff, because like asteroid belts. What was it called? Like a celestial shockwave or something? Or like a celestial sound? She was treating that like it was a very normal thing, but like, is that just like music coming from like other, like she kind of said like, made it seem like she doesn't know much about it. So it's like, is that like spaceships or like music from other planets? Is that like some like impending doom coming for us? Like, I'd be a little bit more worried if I would just hear random music out of nowhere that's just unexplained. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. When it first started a few weeks ago, I thought the otherworldly sounds were going to be the beginning of something extraordinary. Oh, okay. Literally just going basically like right into like what I asked about, like what she like thinks about this. But it just started a few weeks ago. Didn't take long for it to just become something plain old ordinary. Despite the clouds, something up in the sky catches my eye. A tiny little light streaks across the horizon, a shooting star. The legend that wishing upon a star would make your wish come true is one that I stopped believing in a long time ago. But still,
I wish...
it couldn't hurt, right?
I wish something good would happen.
Oh my gosh, wait, is that actually like, is the celestial song or something or shockwave going to be like, ha ha ha, time to bring all of your friends back and send you guys out on that adventure that you wanted? I kind of feel like either that is going to be actually what happens, or it's more of like a haha, isn't it like funny that she made this wish right before this happened kind of thing?
I'm not too picky about what. Just something bigger than me. I could really use some kind of sign. But I won't be like this forever.
Also, I'm just going to slightly adjust my mic, so I apologize if you hear anything. There we go.
Because that's what it feels like lately.
I don't even know what to wish for, exactly. I hope that who's ever out there listening to wishes can figure out what I mean.
I wish I knew how to change.
The light starts to get a little bit bigger and brighter, and I realize it's not a shooting star at all. It's just... Oh, coming into land. When she said it was like a ship, I was like, oh my gosh, wait, is it coming like barreling straight into the house? It's just a ship coming into land. Its headlights streak overhead before it lands downtown somewhere. I sigh, and that turns into a yawn. Shutting off the light at last, I climb into bed and try to get cozy. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Maybe wishes can come true without a star anyway. The next morning, I go downstairs to a house that's already woken up without me. The window's open, a breeze rustling the curtains. It brings the smell of wildflowers into the kitchen, along with the earthy smell of my parents' garden. In the corner of the living room, the pile of camping gear that I had to dodge around in the dark last night has grown. A new lantern as well as matching blankets that Ma loves has been tucked under tents. My parents themselves are nowhere in sight, but there's a cup of coffee with my name on it. Literally, my name is on the mug. That was a Ma holiday project a few years ago. I take a seat at the counter where the screen is on and set to the local news. I half listen as I stir some of Mom's homemade vanilla syrup into my coffee and stare out the window.
That's right, Ted. It's looking like another gray day in Willamere. And of course, there's one question that's on everyone's mind. Is this rain going to be gone by next week?
I hope not. I love the rain.
We've caught up with a couple of off-worlders who are visiting Florel for the first time in order to catch the cosmic concurrence that's supposed to happen. Only problem is, they're not sure if they're going to be able to see it.
The camera shifts to focus on a pair standing close by.
Hey, I know them.
Well, kinda. Their silver skin and second pair of eyes stick out in my memory at least. I don't remember their names, but I met them a couple days ago when I first arrived on our planet. I helped them find their way to Temp Lodge, where they're staying, in one of the wings of the city hall. They talked to reporters for a bit about how they came all the way from another star system and decided to visit for a few days and make it a whole vacation. When we met, they asked me for recs on what to do or see while they're in town. I pointed out all my favorite places to get a snack or folks whose goods are worth checking out, and spots like the swimming docks and Cece, but that's about as exciting as it gets around on Florel. I hope their trip ends up being worth it in the end. After I finish breakfast, I clean up the kitchen and then myself. Taking a quick shower and getting dressed for the day, I'll be helping out at the school again this afternoon, but I made sure to keep my morning free. As I grab my coat and get ready to go, I notice a basket with a note by the door. Ma and I went out to make some deliveries. This one is for Aletha. Don't eat them all yourself. I take a peek into the basket, spotting a bunch of cherry tomatoes. I pluck one for myself and then head out the door. The note just said not to eat them all, not to eat any. Oh my gosh, again, the lighting is just, it's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I could so just have this as like a screensaver and it'd be beautiful. Mom and Ma have a pretty huge garden out in the backyard, plus there's the greenhouse upstairs. Since we always have tons of fruits and vegetables and flowers, way more than a family of 3 can eat or admire, we give them away at the local market every week, or drop things off at people's homes directly. Sometimes folks have special requests like off-world spices or medicinal plants, and my parents will do their best to grow them. One of the chores I hated most growing up was watering all the plants in the greenhouse. It seems so pointless since there are millions of different machines that could have done it for us. Took me a while to realize that was the whole point. I don't mind it as much now. In fact, it's kind of rewarding to watch the little sprouts grow under my care. Even though I felt kind of mopey going to bed last night, today is a new day. There's a few patches of sky blue, a blue sky, read that in reverse, even with clouds still covering most of it. A few ships pass by overhead, probably on their way to Petal Streak. I got my pilot license a few years ago, but I haven't flown since then. Anytime we go camping, my parents and I always take the train as close as we can. We don't have a personal ship. Hardly anyone in Willamere does. Today, if I wanted to, I could take one of the local shuttle lines into town and get dropped off close to Aletha's place. I don't mind walking though, especially when it's nice out. So listen, it sounds like having a ship is a lot like having a driver's license, and just like in this universe, the far-flung future, it is just as unlikely to have a good one of those as it is to have a car here now. So this game's very realistic so far. It's not that I dislike Florel or anything. I like it a lot, actually. Its famous fields of flowers and flowing rivers always cheer me up when I'm down. I really am glad to live in a place that's beautiful. What bugs me is that it's all I've ever What bugs me is that it's all I've ever known and seen. And what bugs me even more is that I know a lot of it that is my own fault. It's not hard to go off-world. Almost anyone can do it. There are dozens of passenger ships that take off from Petalstreak every day. Cece watches over me from not too far away. You can see her from just about anywhere in Willowmere. In fact, I don't know of anywhere in town you can't see her. I come to a stop at a set of railway tracks, which makes a sort of boundary between the outskirts of town, where we live, and town itself. Behind me is a wide field dotted with flowers. Ahead of me, the buildings are much taller and closer together than the scattered houses like mine. To protect Florel's environment, mining for natural resources is super limited. Instead, we import a lot of ores and minerals from the nearby Stana asteroid belt? Yeah, let's go with that one. Or other traders. That means we make most buildings out of simple materials compared to some other high-tech planets. It gives towns like Willowmere a laid-back atmosphere that lots of visitors lately have been calling quaint. I agree with that. It's like a very like homey feel. Like if this was like a real place, I'm like I would either love to visit it or love to like live here kind of stuff. Because like I realize like one of the biggest things I like in a place is a lot of like greenery, and this place has just got that in abundance. Like I visited somewhere, I'm not gonna say where, but somewhere nearby, and I realized that it's just where I live right now, but objectively better because it's slightly cooler year-round, and it just has so many more trees and plants and like parks, and I'm like, oh, this place is gorgeous, I never want to leave. And then I had to leave, so... Making my way down the familiar streets, I greet the people passing by with a smile or wave. It's the first day in a while that's sunny enough to dry clothes from the balcony, or toss a ball back and forth. Finally, I reach Aletha's building and take the elevator up her floor, and then knock. The door opens just a second later, courtesy of a small robot. They must have been waiting for me.
Summer, come on in, honey. How have you been?
She's adorable. Oh my gosh.
Morning!
I lean down and give her a hug.
I've been good. I've missed you. Can't believe it's been a week.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought Summer came in and sat on her lap, and I was gonna be like, Summer, I think that might be a little rude, a little weird, I'm not sure which one.
You're telling me. Here I am, counting down the days on my calendar.
Oh, stop.
We head into the living room, and I sit down, holding out the gift I've been carrying.
These are for you, from Mom and Ma with love.
I give her the basket of cherry tomatoes that Ma picked for her.
Oh, thank you. And thank your mothers for me.
She hovers over it, looking for the perfect tomato, and pops one into her mouth.
You can tell they're fresh off the vine. Nobody grows a better garden than your parents, huh?
Okay, this might be a hot take. I'm so fine with tomatoes. Love them on sandwiches and stuff like that. I will judge you if you just eat them like apples. I've tried it. It is too much. I cannot stand the taste of just plucking one off and just chomping right into it. It's just, I'm sorry. Again, it needs to be on like a sandwich or like in a salad or just something else.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible.
I sprawl out in the living room in a comfy chair while Aletha rolls to the kitchen, putting the tomatoes
Tea,
away.
honey?
Both, please.
It took my brain to understand what the joke was. One of our traditional jokes. A moment later, and she comes back out with a steaming teapot that she must have had waiting for me. Aletha makes her own blends, sometimes using fruit and spices that we give her, and they're always delicious. This one has a deep, rosy color and smells like one of Ma's orchards. I take a sip, and it's both sweet and tangy.
This is good. New flavor?
Mm-hmm. Finished it this morning. You think it's a winner?
I take another sip.
Maybe it's a little too sweet?
Mm-hmm. I was thinking that too. Well, it'll be back to the kitchen this afternoon until I get it right.
You entering one of Mr. Maza's contests again?
Of course. I can't lose 2 years in a row. My pride won't let me.
Her hands are a bit shaky as she sets the teapot down on the table. It's been hard noticing how that happens to her more and more often lately. The little robot zooms over to assist. Oh, I feel like I'm already kind of picking up what this game's putting down. I'm so worried about her making it to the end of the game. Just when I'm just scared. Okay, I don't wanna be there when it happens. That's all I'm gonna say. I've been coming by since I was a teenager. At first, getting to know Aletha was just a homework assignment, but we ended up getting along so well that I just never stopped visiting. Sometimes she feels like my third mother, or maybe my fourth grandmother.
So, you still busy getting ready for the who saw what's it?
For the... Oh, the CosCon?
Right, that's the one. The name slipped my mind for a bit.
Wish that could be me. Yeah, it's been the center of my life for like a month now. And basically everyone else's. Even my mom's. Like, you wouldn't even think we're going on our camping trip next month. Most years, it's all they'll be thinking about for months ahead. But they still haven't even figured out what to pack. A lot of people are coming from off-world to see it. Me and the rest of Cece's helpers have been setting them up with places to stay while they're here. And my parents are helping with all the cooking.
You don't sound all that excited about it yourself.
I'm just not getting my hopes up, that's all. It's still Florel, after all. I know better.
Spoken like a true jaded old grump.
Hey now! Nobody knows what to expect. Even the scientists who calculated that it's gonna happen. All they know is that in 4 days, our universe is going to slide past another one.
Wait, what? That is the sickest sounding thing. Is that why it's called Summer at the Edge of the Universe? I thought it was just gonna be like a cheeky little title because, like, haha, it's about a girl named Summer and it's about space stuff. It's actually gonna be like the two universes passing each other, so there's literally going to be like an edge of the universe. That sounds so sick. What the freak? How could you not be excited for that?
There was this whole thing on TV explaining how they figured it out, but once they started using math with letters in it, I stopped paying attention.
Based. That's why I dropped out of college.
When the sky started making all that noise, I let myself get excited. But if the cosmic concurrence itself is going to be that disappointing too, then I'll just be glad when it's over.
Is it really that bad? I still haven't heard a peep from the sky myself. Maybe there's some silver lining to not hearing so good anymore.
You're really not missing much. Music and sound from another universe. Even saying it like that makes it sound cooler than it is. Maybe if it was more than a few seconds at a time and didn't wake me up every night.
Okay. I was gonna get on her for not thinking that that's the coolest thing ever, but then she did mention how it wakes her up every night. I'm like, listen, as someone who has a dog who sometimes does that too, it sucks. Getting your sleep schedule ruined is the worst thing, essentially. So I'm like, you know what? She's not unbased for this take, is what I'm gonna say. Chuckling, Aletha takes a contented sip of tea and smacks her lips. Then she sets it aside and looks at me with a knowing smile.
So, I take it you're not even gonna go see it then?
I'm still gonna watch, of course, as long as there's anything to watch. Speaking of which, you're totally gonna see it with me, right?
Oh, it sounds like it'll be well past my bedtime. I'll watch it on TV if I'm awake. Besides, you've got better things to do than to be spending all your time with an old fogey like me.
Uh-huh. Like what?
You should be telling me that. Your youth isn't gonna come around a second time, you know.
I know. I'm just figuring stuff out still. Besides, what would you do without me, huh?
I suppose I'd have to find someone else to try my tea. Now tell me why I feel like I've heard that one before.
I groan and press a pillow against my
Probably
face.
because I've been saying that for a few years now, right? There's just one thing holding me back, and her name is Summer.
You really telling me that there's at least 2 universes out there, and you still can't find one thing that gets you excited?
Oh, I love the call out so hard. Being like, listen, dog, there are 2 whole universes out there for you to explore. And you don't care about any of it? Come on, get it together.
Ouch. It sounds a lot worse when you put it that way. I don't know. I don't know what I am.
First you know, now you don't know. Which is it?
I'm still trying to figure that out, too.
Kicking my legs up in the air, I roll myself into a sitting position.
I know I've been saying the same thing for forever now, but nothing I've tried really grabs me. You've seen me try drawing, bird watching, now dancing.
acting.
Hang on, I gotta respond to something really fast. Just a quick little text. Just because I'm getting a lot of calls. And so that probably means it might be slightly important. There we go. Text has been sent. Everything is right in the universe.
Oh, no, don't remind me, but yeah, acting too. See what I mean?
You've got your show, though. I know I'm not the only one who listens to it every week.
I guess so, but that's just me talking about myself and playing music that I like. You can get both of those anytime you want, you know? Like right now.
I mean, yeah, but that's like kind of just like what streaming is, you know? You're basically just streaming, but on the radio, you know, doing like a radio show. That's still something. Hang on, I gotta just respond really quick. There we go. Now we should be good for the rest of stream. There we go. I pretend I'm in the radio room, talking into the mic.
Coming at you live from Aletha's house, this is Summer's Pity Party, where everyone's invited. I'm your host, Summer Nansen, and today you're gonna hear me complain about the same stuff I always do.
You know, no, it is different from streaming, because she's, like, too articulate. She actually, like, speaks and, like, does it clearly without fumbling over her words. She does it too well. She's too good at talking. So there is a difference. Aletha grins.
It's my favorite radio program.
Leaving her mug next to mine, Aletha wheels herself over to one of the windows. She also likes to watch the world go by just like I do. It's one of the things we first bonded over way back when.
You know, I've had a pretty good life myself. Been to a lot of places, seen my fair share of the stars. After I met William, we zipped around all over this galaxy and that. But before that, I was just like you, waiting for adventure to find me instead of going out and finding it myself. I spent years dreaming about what-ifs, instead of making them happen.
Based, Aletha, tell her what she needs to hear.
Once I got myself out there and saw more of what I was missing, I felt pretty silly for not doing it sooner. I don't think there's anyone who gets to be my age today and looks back wishing they'd done less. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with taking things slow and just letting life happen to you. But before you know it, you'll be an old woman staring out the window, and then you'll wish you'd really lived instead of just existed.
Based, tell her. I get up from my spot and go give Aletha another big hug. I have to be careful not to squeeze too tight, feeling her bony frame in my arms. Sometimes it's easy to forget she's as old as she is, with the way she always keeps busy. But even in the few years that I've known her, I've watched her slow down. The reason I convinced her to get a robot to help her out was because there are more and more things she's not able to do by herself. I wish I had one of those. She's still one of those people who doesn't like having stuff done for her. Still, I'm glad there's someone to help her out when I'm not around, since she doesn't have any family left. She pats me on the shoulder as I sit back down.
Don't waste your youth, honey. That's all I'm trying to say.
I don't want to. I just need to figure out what it is that makes me happy. At least I know plenty of things that it's not.
You're still dancing, though?
Technically. But it's not something I'm really into, I guess. It just kills some time and helps me keep healthy.
Well, you know I'll be here to hear about it when you decide on what you're doing next.
I know. You always are.
The morning passes quickly and into the afternoon, until it's time for me to head out. Usually I'd go to Cece, but today I'm headed straight for my old school. That means a quick walk to the closest train station. I manage to snag my favorite seat by the window, but I don't pay much attention to the view as it whizzes past. Instead, I'm busy thinking about Aletha's words. Wasting my youth, huh? It's not the first time she's mentioned it, but today it hits a little bit differently. I can't help but feel stuck, like I'm running in place. How are you supposed to find yourself if you don't know what you're looking for? The first few raindrops starts to fall as we reach the station and I disembark.
Figures.
Pulling my coat tighter around myself, I head towards the high school. Squelching through the mud, I hurry as fast as I can. The station gets me pretty close, but I still have to cross the field and most of the campus to get to the school's entrance.
Should have brought an umbrella.
I think I forgot mine more than I remember it. I think I forget mine more than I remember it. A few other folks are milling about, and a stranger holds the main door for me as I go inside. There's a hot coffee station set up near the front, which is my first stop. Close by there are also some rags and rugs to clean up, and a rack for me to leave my coat. Then I head for the office, which is where we've set up our base of command. When I started coming here a couple weeks ago for prep work, it was the first time I'd been back in this school since my friends and I graduated nearly 5 years ago. Walking through those doors as an adult was surreal. Oh, it is! Oh, it's the weirdest feeling. Like, I didn't have to go back, but I went back to see a play that was being done there, and it was like, oh, it feels so weird to be back, like, in this building, like, in this auditorium, and not being, like, up on stage, and I'm an adult now, and I don't go here every day. It's like, oh, the universe feels so wrong right now. Not that long ago, I was here every day. Now I'm an outsider. Someone who doesn't belong anymore. Yep, that's the feeling. I don't mind that too much. Who wants to go back to high school anyway? But it does make me miss some of the people, 3 of them in particular. Although it's not like I ever stopped missing them. When we walked out of the school for the last time, I thought that was just the beginning of our time together. Hannah, Quinn, Izzy. We'd been friends for over half our lives at that point. It just made sense that the freedom of adulthood was where things would really start. I sure wasn't expecting that to fall apart less than a year later. If you told me that we'd eventually go 4 years, and counting without speaking, there's no way I'd have listened. There's no way I'd have believed it. And yet, here we are. Sighing to clear my head, I focus on the task list in front of me. Everyone else is working hard, so I can't slack off either.
Let's see. Pretty much what I expected.
The list of tasks isn't long, but each of them is going to take me a while. I have to set up the seating for one of the viewing rooms, figure out the display situation, and then put together the menu and ingredient list for my moms. Both of them were super excited to be helping out, unlike me. Unlike me, they love the idea of coming back here. They say it brings back nice memories for them too, although they're different from my own. Ma's from Floral, but not Willowmere, and Mom's from a different planet, so neither of them spent as much time here as I did. All they have are the memories of my school events and parent-teacher conferences. In other words, the parts I barely remember myself. I get it though. I'm sure I'll be the same way if I ever have kids of my own someday.
Alright, first up, chair time.
The main auditorium's already been set up, but we're expecting to have more people than can fit in there, so we've put together a few overflow rooms too. All of the desk and usual school stuff has been cleared out, so I need to set up temporary chairs for people to use. I find a cart full of them and take it back to the first room that I'm assigned to. The ceiling's already been decorated with tie-dyed cotton, and there's a hand-painted welcome sign taped up to the one wall, speckled in toddler finger paint. Little by little, things are coming together. I can't deny how satisfying it is to see it. Going from room to room, I unload and unfold so many chairs that it becomes almost like its own dance routine. There's a rhythm to it all that I keep up, just to entertain myself. Even this takes me back in its own way. Normally, Izzy'd be all over this kind of job. Dummy's work, as she'd call it. AKA something even a dummy like her can do. That's my kind of work. Listen, I've talked about it a few times. My job is just clicking copy and paste and watching YouTube all day. Something anyone can do, and I love it. It's the perfect job for me. I managed to get things done on my own anyway. 4 rooms and an uncomfortable number of seats later, I'm finally finished. On other planets, people don't do stuff like this by hand. It's pretty much unheard of. There are robots who could do what I just did in half the time and with way fewer snack breaks. Here on Florel, though, people like just doing things the old-fashioned way, even if it makes it the hard way too. Once I'm rested up, it's on to the next task, making sure the displays are all set up for the viewing. For that, I'll need to go to the tech lab. I can still automatically follow the path. The time spent away no match for the years I spent here. But as I'm passing through yet another empty hallway, I spot something unexpected. Oh? That thing's adorable! I want one! It's so cute. Just up ahead, seemingly frozen in place, is a kid with their backs to me. With their back to me, they don't have multiple backs; they have the one, like most people. I can see their head turning, trying to decide which direction to go. They're probably here with their parents, and we're kind of deep in the depths of the school, so it's easy to get lost. I put on a big smile, pretty used to handling children.
Hey there. Are you okay?
At the sound of my voice, they turn around, but I can instantly see that it's not a kid, it's a robot.
Greetings. All within my perception appears to be okay. However, I am presently lost.
You are precious. That is what you are.
Sounds like you're not totally okay then.
The little robot peers up at me, an inquisitive look on its pixelated face. It reminds me a little bit of these research robots that I've heard about, except better dressed.
Is that so? My friend says that being lost is simply an opportunity to discover someplace new. So, I'm feeling very fulfilled right now.
To demonstrate just how fulfilled the robot the robot displays a little meter on its screen that's filling up. Its charging bar reaches the end and then overflows, playing a little jingle. It's cute and I can't help but laugh. Most of the robots I've met are like Alethas, helpful but impersonal. This one even waved its arm in celebration, and I notice it's carrying a book.
Wow, you weren't joking.
No, I'm still learning about jokes. However, I'm hoping to incorporate this functionality soon. I will pursue that endeavor at a different time. Currently, I need to locate the library.
Oh, I should have guessed. Well, you're in luck because I'm going that way too. Just follow me.
Thank you. Your assistance is most appreciated.
No prob. We're not too far away.
Oh my gosh, it can fly. It's adorable and it can fly. It's the best thing ever. Instead of walking, the robot lifts up off the ground and hovers alongside me.
What's that book you're reading?
I am not the one who read it. I'm returning this on behalf of my friend. I volunteered to make the journey in order to experience a new environment.
It holds the book so I can see it.
Oh, I know that one. A friend of mine read it a long time ago.
Are their friends perhaps the same person? Are they perhaps related by being the exact same person? I recognize the cover. It has a picture of the three main characters on the front, all sitting together at a table. One of them has ears like a fox. The best book ever? The best book ever. Oh my gosh. Quinn took that book out back in our last year of school. I remember seeing them carry it around, but I never heard whether they liked it or not. For all I know, they never even finished reading. Listen, if Quinn didn't finish reading it, no longer a friend. Get a better friend than that, alright? The robot, I noticed, is very careful with the book, even when it's waving it around. Maybe it's used to transporting delicate specimens. After a couple more twists and turns, we arrive at the library, which is right next to the tech lab I was headed for.
Ta-da! You can just drop it in the box, right here. Need any help?
No, I would prefer to accomplish this task on my own.
Oh, look at you go. You put the book away by yourself. Floating up to reach the slot, the robot deposits the book and then plays another victory song.
Congrats! You did it!
Yes, I did. Thank you for assisting in finding this place. You were integral to the completion of my mission.
Aw, don't mention it. Happy to help.
I am afraid I cannot honor your request. I'll be making a mention of this encounter to my friend. However, I am sure they will also be pleased to hear my report.
Okay, I guess we can make a one-time exception then. But don't go mentioning it to anyone else.
Affirmative. I'll be leaving now. Goodbye.
Bye!
The little robot happily buzzes off down the halls, going back the way we came.
I hope it doesn't get lost.
Now that I think about it, maybe I should have offered to show it the way. Well, it's a robot. I'm sure it'll figure it out. Using the key code that I was given, I unlock the tech lab and make sure everything's properly set up. Compared to getting all those chairs ready, this is easy. There are a bunch of different live feeds from around town that I check off and approve, and I also do a test run of the 3D viewing space. Some folks will want to mingle and just watch the main live feed, which is what we have broadcasting in the auditorium. But for people who want a more immersive experience, one of the science labs has been suited up with a simulation room that'll make it seem like you're actually outside. Hannah and I used to do something similar for fun. They're designed for kids to be able to get a hands-on look at what they're reading about during class. We would spend our free periods exploring what kind of weird options were available, stuff like strange animal skeletons or gemstones from other planets. I sit down and sign in. Doesn't seem like the software's changed at all since I last used it. I won't be the one running things on the actual night of the concurrence, so I just need to prep things for whoever will be. Checking over it all is simple, but it takes a while, especially when I keep getting distracted by the other feeds from around the planet. For a people watcher like me, sitting here is almost too much power. Still, even in a focused rush, it takes me the better part of an hour before I'm finally satisfied enough to say I'm finished.
Alright, almost done. Let's do this.
Psyching myself out and stretching my fingers, I've locked up the lab and head to my final destination, the cafeteria. I find a variety of ingredients waiting for me, pasta and veggies and other stuff too. I take inventory of it all, organizing some stuff like our kitchen at home. This will be my mom's base of operations that night, and I won't be surprised if I end up here too. They both love to cook for a crowd since it gives them a chance to show off. We've got the menus along with the list of orders for the attendees at home, so we'll use the list I make here to figure out what we need to bring from the garden. I wander through the coolers and pantries, jotting down everything onto a notepad as I go. I take a picture of the list, send it to both my moms, and then stuff it into my coat pocket. I'm finally done for the day. I don't have long to even think about heading home though, because the moment I go back to the front of the school, someone flags me over to ask for help with some task of their own. I end up running around for another hour, doing essentially more of the same stuff that I had been assigned. By the time I'm finally free, I'm good and exhausted. Afternoon sunshine is pouring in through the windows, rather than the rain that had been pouring when I got here. When I head outside, it's downright comfy again, just like this morning. It makes for a nice walk to the station and a smooth train ride back home, where I flop down on the couch as soon as I reach it. It's been another long day, and I'm glad to be flat on my back instead of sitting or standing. But also, the end of these long days is in sight. Before I know it, things will be back to the same old routine. Am I ready for that? I really don't know. I don't mean to fall asleep, but next thing I know, I'm waking up with a blanket draped over me and a pillow stuffed under my head that wasn't there before. See, if someone ever tried to do something cute like that for me, I'd probably just wake up and actually punch them. Because, like, if I'm being touched, I am the lightest sleeper ever. It just wakes me up, and I tend to freak out if I'm being touched when I'm awake. I mean, when I'm asleep. It just scares me. I think I'm being attacked or something. So, like, that's very cute. I hope someone never does that for me for their own safety, essentially. Did I read that last part? Wait. Womp. Yawning, I tossed the blanket off and rolled to my feet, heading into the kitchen to make myself some tea. After mulling over my choices, I pick a fruity blend Aletha gave me a few visits ago. And return. Oh. It's back. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. And I'm gonna take a little guess and say that her other mom has blue eyes, so while it's steeping, one of the doors to the outside opens and Moss strolls in.
Oh, hey, you're up.
Yep, good morning.
Peeking out the window, she makes a face.
You might be off by a few hours on that one.
It's morning time somewhere out there.
What they have you doing up at the school? Mom and I came back and found you conked out on the couch.
Oh, you know, they needed someone big and strong like me to set up a bunch of chairs and computers.
Well, you woke up just in time, because Mom and I got the stuff to make some butter cookies.
Is that just cookies made out of butter? Grabbing my mug, I bounce away from the counter to clear a space.
Don't let me slow you down.
You still gotta wait a bit. Mom's out in the garden now grabbing stuff from your grocery list.
I'm on my way already.
My parents' butter cookies are famous neighborhood-wide. The sooner they get started baking, the sooner I can start eating them. Oh, hello. I pop out the door that Ma just came through, spotting Mom already on her way in, so I hold it open for her. She smiles gratefully, turning it to avoid hitting me with the box full of produce that she's carrying. She's so pretty. Listen, I was like sitting there, like I was looking at her, just like taking in her design. I was like, I should probably be saying something right now.
Is that everything?
I think so. We'll pull the peppers and onions next week so they're fresh. What else was on your list?
Let me see.
I reached for the note that I shoved in my pocket of my coat. Wait. No way, no way, I left my coat at school. I left my coat at school? I was so distracted by the nice weather when I left that I forgot all about the bad weather when I got there. A classic summer blunder.
Or not. I forgot my jacket up there.
I have the list on my phone, but I'll need my jacket itself for tomorrow. It's clear out right now, but there's no telling when the rain will come back. I already know what I'm going to have to do, even as I try to think of an alternative. With her free hand, Mom pats me on the shoulder. She knows too.
Guess I'm heading out.
There should be cookies by the time you get back at least.
You know, that's enough. You don't really have to wait for it if you're actively doing something, you know?
That does make it a bit better. Be home soon.
Kicking my shoes on by the door, I step out into the young night. Willowmere at this time is a lot different than Willowmere during the day. There's hardly any nightlife or places to hang out late. That's why I'm usually the last one out of CC's when I do my evening shows. With the open skies, we get a ton of natural starlight, which sustains a lot of the planet. Overhead, Florel's twin moons have begun to rise. Nighttime brings a whole bunch of plants to life that are dormant during the day. Why did I read that as skimmering? Shimmering moon blooms glow at my feet, lighting the path with their bell-shaped buds. By the time I get home, even more will have lit up. This music's such a vibe. This music is such a vibe. Oh my gosh. I was sitting there listening to like, this is really good. And then once it got to like this part, I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. I wish so badly that that like in Please Be Happy, it will pop up to be like, I started gesturing at the screen again. Here, that's what I have the mouse for. It'll pop up at like the top of the screen on like one of the clear sides, be like, here's what song is playing right now. I wish it did it so badly here, so I could just look it up. Actually, wait, is any of the soundtrack for this up? I want to check that really quick. Summer. I read that as dumber. All right. Well, you know what? Not correcting that mistake. At the edge. Oh, thank you, YouTube, for correcting it for me. Summer at the edge of the universe. Okay, it's bringing up some streams. I should. Oh wait, no. The soundtrack's already up. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Well, I know what I'll be. Well, should I listen to it? Okay. Wait. Hang on. How many songs are there? Wait, no content's available. Hang on. Is this not a playlist I can click on? No, it is. I don't know why it told me that no content was available. That's weird. I was gonna say I might not want to listen to it though, cause it might like spoil some things. Like there might be like some songs on there that I don't know about yet. You know what I mean? So I'm like, should I listen to it? I guess I could go like, if I don't recognize it, I could just back out. You know, easy solution. I could just back out of it basically. Yeah, no, it's so good. It's so good so far. The cool air fills. Wait, hang on. Where was I reading? I got distracted. I got slightly distracted. If you couldn't tell. Hang on. Go off to the side. The cool air feels lovely. So instead of heading for the station and waiting for a train, I decide to jog to school. Besides, I've got plenty of energy to burn. Starting off slow, I hurry down well-tended dirt paths, crossing empty roads illuminated by street lamps. Some houses have already gone dark, while others still have their windows lit up. Just like arranging the chairs earlier, I find a rhythm for my footsteps to follow, a beat that I can run to. Maintaining my form is game. I play against myself. I'm sweating by the time I get to the city park that used to be one of my friends and my favorite hangout spots. It's about halfway between my house and school, and also about halfway from the station that Hannah and Izzy would use to get home. I spent hours of my life sitting on those swings or under those trees. Now I just run right past them. Across the river and out of the park, the rest of the way from here to the school is covered in hills, soft, gently sloping ones. For the most part, but still enough to make me gradually slow to a walk. My breathing is heavy as I start the final ascent, the school building itself looming in the darkness ahead. Oh, hello! Just ahead, I spot the first other person I've seen since leaving my house. One of the bright overhead lights at the edge of campus is shining down, giving me a clear view of a surprisingly familiar face. It's a little robot that I saw earlier today. It waves when it notices me, rising up into the air.
Greetings. You have returned. That is most unexpected.
Same to you! I forgot my coat, so I'm back to get it. What about you?
This time, I'm accompanying my friend. They are presently at the school. I have chosen to remain out here so far. The local plant species here are quite fascinating. However, I would like to join them. May I accompany you?
What's this, what's the Brooklyn Nine-Nine meme? I've only known this robot for a day, but if anything happened to it, I'd kill everyone here and then myself. That's how I feel about this robot right now.
Sure thing. I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Summer. Summer Nansen.
Usually I wouldn't be so chatty with a robot, but this clearly isn't a normal one. It reminds me a lot more of a person than the machines that clean the floors and windows at CC. Plus, it's already our second meeting. I can hear the sound of a fan spinning in the robot's body as it processes that.
That is quite the coincidence. My friend knows someone on this planet who is named Summer Nansen.
Oh no, what a coincidence!
My name is Curiosity. I'm very pleased to meet you, Summer Nansen.
That is the perfect name for this thing, and it is adorable.
Just Summer is fine. And... wait, who's your friend?
The name that they have chosen is Quinn.
It plays a small celebratory jingle. Jerking to a halt, I rub my ears, certain that I must have misheard or that I'm more tired than I thought.
Sorry, one more time?
The name that they have chosen is Quinn.
Play the jingle again. I may not be the machine here, but I feel like I'm short-circuiting, like I fell asleep and I'm in a dream, because there's no possible way this robot is referring to the same Quinn that I'm thinking of.
Quinn... son?
Yes, that is their full name.
Oh.
Quinn Sun, aka formerly one of my closest friends. The fact that this robot knows them is both a total shock and at the same time such a Quinn thing that I'm not surprised at all. Curiosity hovers, still looking at me, probably waiting for some kind of response. Problem is, I'm not sure how to respond.
You're saying Quinn is just up ahead at the school?
I feel like she's either going to be so nervous that she's going to run away or just try to avoid her, or she's going to be so excited she's just going to book it right in there to go find her. I don't really know which answer I want to hear.
Unless they have left me behind, then yes, they are.
Well, that's a scary thought. I don't dwell on it. I don't want to tempt fate. I choose my words carefully, afraid to mess this up.
Can you take me to see them?
I can. Follow me.
Curiosity doesn't seem to share my hesitation at all. The little robot turns and floats off into the darkness, leaving me standing there by myself. I kind of expected it to say no. Now that it's leaving, I find myself rooted in place. What will I even say? What if they don't want to see me? Wouldn't they have come and found me if they did? There's 100 reasons why this might be a bad idea. But still, there's way more reasons why it might not be. Besides, I wanted something to change, something to happen. A chance like this is better than I could have actually hoped for. Plus, I want to see them. I stare off into the darkness at the quickly disappearing robot. It doesn't seem to be waiting to see if I actually follow or not. Quinn. I can't think of them without also thinking about Izzy and Hannah. We were inseparable in high school. It felt like we could do anything together. And then, after school finished, we just drifted apart. Hannah went off to school on another planet like she'd been dreaming of for years. Izzy stuck around for a while, but I don't know what's happened to her in the last couple of years. As for Quinn, well, they chose to leave the planet. The last time I saw them, they were sleeping on the floor at my house, or at least they had been. I woke up to them standing in the doorway. Asked when they were coming back, and they said they weren't. Sure enough, I never heard from them again. Oh, that sounds like a fun way to leave things off for 4 years. As far as I know, none of us did. Out of the three of them, Quinn is the last one I would have expected to run into like this. So it's pretty safe to say that I have no idea how to feel right now. But as I stand there, Aletha's words from earlier echo in my head. Nobody looks back and wishes they'd done less.
Alright, well, can't say I didn't try.
That's such a good saying. Nobody's looked back and wished that they'd done less. Those are words to live by. I hurry to catch Curiosity before it gets out of sight. The robot chatters on, not even noticing that I was gone. I doubt it has the functionality to detect an awkward silence. That probably comes in handy around Quinn.
With Quinn's help, I have been coming to learn about the tendencies and habits of humans. For instance, did you know that human beings can express at least 3 different emotions?
A whole bare minimum of 3? That's crazy. Oh my gosh, tell me more. I laugh loudly despite my nerves before quickly catching myself.
Only 3?
As if there was any doubt, we're definitely talking about the same Quinn.
At least 3. How many can you think of? Which ones am I lacking?
Let's see. Happy, sad, angry, excited, lonely, jealous? That's 6 so far.
6! You have doubled my knowledge already. Thank you very much. I can see why Quinn called you their friend.
This robot is the best thing in any game ever.
They said that? They called me their friend?
Yes. They have referred to you as their dear friend previously.
I almost stumble in surprise again, but this time instead of being hit by a brick, it's like a weight is lifted off my chest.
They still think of me that way?
Biting my lip to keep from smiling too much. Oh, I start walking again, faster this time. Curiosity easily matches my speed and even outpaces me. Overhead, the starry sky twinkles as if it's aware of how momentous a night this is. One that's vast and full of promise.
You walk much faster than Quinn. This is fun. I cannot believe humans do not walk at high speeds everywhere.
Everything that Curiosity says is just like a precious little surprise. It's a precious little treat. I love hearing everything that they have to say. We reach the top of the hill, the silhouette of the school in the darkness just across the field. Curiosity gestures in front of
Oh,
us.
it is just ahead. The place we said we would meet.
They said that they'd be here, but I know all too well that doesn't necessarily mean they will. Before I can finish my next thought, Curiosity beeps out a joyful 5-note melody and darts forward. Little thrusters emerge from its feet, giving it an extra boost of speed. Man, I wish I could do that. I jog ahead too, triggering one of the motion-activated lights. It shines brightly, illuminating the person I was waiting to see. Oh my gosh. I love the design. I love the design. I like, listen. I really liked what I was seeing on the main menu, the home screen, whatever you want to call it. It's called the main menu. I know what words mean. And I was like, that's my favorite design right there. And looking at him now, I'm like, yeah, this one's my favorite. So Quinn is my fave so far, just off of the design. Standing alone in the middle of the sidewalk. Oh gosh, the art here is so good. I know I say that like every CG, but like, listen. Good art deserves to be appreciated. Standing alone in the middle of the sidewalk, hand outstretched the rushing robot, Quinn. They have the smallest of smiles on their face as they greet the playful machine. At first, the sight of them jolts me to a stop. This is real. This is actually happening. Yeah, they made me come to a stop too. Somehow I managed to find my own thrusters and put out a burst of speed. As I careen towards them, I call out,
Quinn!
They glance up as I stumble, barely keeping balance by flailing my arms. I skid to a halt right in front of them, hands on my knees.
You're really here.
That wasn't what I'd wanted to say, but any thoughts of a coherent sentence went out the door the moment I actually opened my mouth. In a way, it's almost like Quinn never left. All the familiar feelings of warmth, friendship, and familiarity fill my chest. Quinn just stands there, staring at me like they'd been expecting me to show up. They don't seem fazed at all. Then I notice the way their hand is twitching, like they were hit by the same invisible force field I was when I saw them.
Summer.
Quinn, you're so real for that. Oh, they're phased.
Hi, Summer. It's
You're here too?
They are horrendously phased. They are starstruck right now. This is awesome. Their hair, shaggy as always, is cut way shorter now. It looks like they never hit their growth spurt either, despite telling all of us so many times that they'd hit it someday. The sweater they're wearing is new, at least to me, but it's the same classic Quinn style, oversized to the point where it makes them look shapeless. And the way they're standing, that awkward stance that somehow shows that they don't know if they should stay or leave.
Yeah, I ran into Curiosity, and it told me about you. What have you... Where have you...
In just a few seconds of staring at each other, my heart feels a million things. A part of me wants to ask why they never called, or wrote, or anything. It's been 5 years of silence. But a bigger part of me doesn't care. All of those feelings that should mix together into something confusing actually result in something simple. Finally, straightening to face them at eye level, I just smile. The same way I would when they'd walk through the classroom door, or when we'd meet up on weekends.
You're back. I missed you.
Aww. Aww. Finally, they smile too, and that smile is precious. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I missed you too.
I glance around us. I worry if I turn around, they'll
Are you
disappear. Quinn avoids my eyes for a moment before shrugging.
We were just leaving. I just wanted to come by and see the school, but it's busy during the day.
Why? What? You can't be leaving already. They have to stay. They have to stay.
Oh, yeah. We're using the school as a place for people to watch the Cosmic Concurrence next week. That's this big thing that's happening.
Quinn nods.
Yeah, that's why I'm on Florel.
We will be going to another planet after its conclusion.
Listen, the greatest pair, a Cutie Patootie and Quinn. Oh my gosh, this is the best. I look at the robot by Quinn's side. Its eyes show pure delight. I can tell from both their body language that the two of them are important to each other. Leave it to Quinn to have picked up an android for a best friend after they left us.
Oh, I see.
The two of us look at each other. I have to imagine the same things is on both of our minds. Say the word Summer. Just say it.
I'd really love it if we could catch up before you go.
Yes,
It doesn't have to be long. It can be wherever, whenever. I'm pretty much free all the time.
There's so much I could say, want to say, but how much is too much? To me, running into Quinn like this is a wish come true, a miracle, a second chance. So were they the ship that landed? That's what I'm guessing right now, is that they were like, also they had the star on their sweatshirt. Also, banger sweatshirt. If that was made, I would absolutely get one. I'm guessing that they'd be the shooting star, right? Or I guess it could just be one of her other friends, but that's my guess for right now. I'm afraid for them to know how desperate I am. They swallow and turn away, and my heart skips a beat. Curiosity peers up at Quinn.
Sorry.
No, don't say sorry. Stay. Catch up with us, please. Their soft voice barely carries over their own shoulder. Curiosity peers up at Quinn, the robot's expression changing to match its name.
To be honest, this is difficult for me.
I bite my lip, clench my fist, hold my breath. Anything to stop the shaking.
I thought about coming to see you, but...
But what? But what? Silence. But... Okay, thank you, Summer. Exact same brain cell. We have the one. Thank you. I try to read the silence that follows their words, but they decided they didn't want to. Or was it something more like me? Maybe they just didn't know how to. I think about what it is that I want, what I really want to happen right now, how I want things to be again. I briskly walk over, getting more into Quinn's personal space than most people are allowed to. Reaching towards them, I see their already wide eyes get wider. Taking the strings of the hoodie in one hand, I give them a good yank, just like I used to whenever Quinn was being emo. Oh, they flinch either out of habit or genuine surprise.
Well, I came and saw you first instead.
It seems to throw them back on track. Blushing, they still manage to laugh.
Yeah. I'm glad you did.
I'm so relieved that I guessed
I'm
right.
busy tonight, but I'm not tomorrow.
Yes, let's go! Let's go!
Alright. Tomorrow then.
Okay. See you then.
Promise?
I offer out my pinky. They consider for a moment before wrapping their own finger around mine.
Promise.
Whoa, I've witnessed a new ritual. Today has been one of the most exciting days of my life.
You are a gift.
Well, that's what happens when summer's around.
They're looking down at Curiosity with a smile. They're close enough for me to pull them into a surprise hug, as that one sentence makes me feel better than anything in the past year. Although I can feel them stiffen at first, it only takes a second before Quinn relaxes and hugs me back. For just a moment, I feel like nothing has changed, like we're 16 again and saying goodbye after school.
See you soon.
My voice is barely a whisper.
Yeah. Take care.
I slowly untangle myself from Quinn and step back. I'm sure that in the bright lights from the school, the tears in my eyes are obvious. That's okay though, I want them to see how much this means to me. Curiosity takes Quinn's hand and then Stop being the cutest thing! And then waves to me with the other one.
Goodbye. It was nice to encounter you a second time. I'm looking forward to our third.
Me too, more than anything.
Me too. And the next one, and the one after that.
That would be the fifth one.
You're so right, you're so good at math, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one too.
With a gentle tug, Quinn leads Curiosity back towards the edge of campus and wherever it is that they're staying. I stay at the top of the hill, waving until they're out of sight. For all I know, this could turn out to be the last time I ever see Quinn. I want the moment to last as long as possible. Wiping my eyes, I turn around and head to the front of the school, unlocking and slipping inside. My coat is right where I left it, of course, and I retrieve it and head back out within a minute. It's not too cold, so I wrap my coat around my waist instead of wearing it.
Thanks for staying behind here. You really helped me out.
We'll leave out the fact that I'm the one who forgot it in the first place, not that my jacket chose to stay. That's when it turns out to be a sentient jacket, and it's been the one orchestrating all of this. Still, if it weren't for that, I'd be lying on either my couch or my bed, wishing that a night like this would happen. It's the start of something. I don't know what, but I'm determined to not let this opportunity fizzle out after tonight, or after the next time we meet. By all rights, I should be exhausted, and in a way I am, but also I don't remember ever feeling more hyped up and energized than I do right now. I start to run, taking the steeper path down from the school. It's hard to explain the feeling of momentum. It's sort of like I could go forever, and stopping is unthinkable. I am filled with a desperate urge, no, a need to do something, to not let this energy and excitement end. Down the grassy slopes and gray sidewalks, I run until I reach the park. There, just as I arrive, I feel the first few tremors of a familiar shaking. The music consists of a distant strumming. There's a sound like swirling wind, accompanied by a voice singing along. I come to a stop, looking up at the stars, where the sound is coming from. Even though there's nothing to see, the celestial noise captivates me like it hasn't since the first time I've heard it. Whoever they are, I don't think they're singing words, just sounds, and yet I can hear what they're feeling. The joy in their voice is clear, and even across the boundaries of our universe. Closing my eyes, I take a second to just let myself experience. Instead of getting annoyed at how it doesn't go anywhere, I try to listen and enjoy the music for the short time that it'll be there. Whoever it is that's making them sing like that, it'd be nice to feel that way too. Of course, just a few seconds later, it all comes to an end. The near silence of the night crawls back in. As stillness comes over me, I let it shape that excitement I was feeling I let it shape that excitement I was feeling into action. Slowly I pull out my phone, taking a seat on one of the swings. I open my inbox, glancing through the names at the top. My parents, my supervisor, Aletha, other volunteers. I have to scroll and scroll until I finally find the names I'm looking for. Hannah, Izzy. Always the four of us. Running into Quinn like I did already seems too good to be true, so the idea of reaching out to the others as well, that just feels like pushing my luck. Do it! Do it! You gotta do it! But hey, maybe it's time I push myself again. Yes! Mustering my confidence, I tap onto Hannah's name and open our long-dead conversation history. I force myself not to look at whatever our last few messages said. I don't want to know or remember right now. Instead, I focus on writing something new. Hey Hannah, it's Summer. I pause. Should I add my last name? I would hope that she could just click on to the conversation and be like, oh yeah, it's the Hannah that I was like best friends with, like up until a few years ago. I remember this person. No, okay, well, we're on the same page. No, she'll know. I know this is out of nowhere, but I was hoping maybe I could see you if you're on Florel sometime soon. Part of me is tempted to just spill out my guts, telling her all about how I've regretted the way we've drifted out of touch. But I know better than to do that. It's easy to overwhelm Hannah, especially when she's not expecting something. Oh, Hannah's just like me for real. So I just keep my message brief. I miss you. Is it too much to say that? Maybe, maybe not. I won't let it stop me. Before I can lose my nerve, I send a message. Then I copy it over and send something similar to Izzy. Then I feel like throwing my phone as far away from myself as possible to avoid staring at it constantly for the next however long until they respond. Instead, I make the much more rational decision of returning my phone to my pocket and resuming my journey home. Several times I check it, certain that I felt the that's such a terrible feeling when you're genuinely sitting there like waiting for something to happen, and then you feel a buzz, and then you look down and nope, you're just imagining. I'm pretty sure there's like literally like a thing for that, like I think it's called like ghost buzzing, where like if you have your phone in the same pocket for too long and it vibrates a lot there, you'll feel that even when nothing is happening. I think that's a real thing. I could just be like making that up, tricking myself into saying that, but I'm pretty sure I learned that in like a psychology class a couple of years ago. I think it's a real thing. I could be wrong. But it's still the worst when it happens. But each time it's just my imagination. It's kind of late, and I'm sure it'll be a shock to both of them whenever they do see it. So as much as I can, I try to be patient.
Okay, Summer. You can do this.
I went 4 years without speaking to them. I'm sure I can handle another few hours of it.
I'm home.
Okay. I want to take a tiny, not really a break there, but like a sort of like intermission just to talk about things so far. And I'm also going to move into a slightly more comfortable position because my back is starting to hurt. I've been doing a few posture checks for myself, and it has not been working. Because I think my issue is I'm getting just a little too cozy with this game, and then I start slouching a bit because I'm just like getting relaxed, and then I'm like, oh man, my back's starting to hurt from having sat all day, and that it's just a cycle. It's just a cycle. Hang on, I have a footrest around here somewhere that I use as like a great posture check. Hang on. It's like, uh-oh, hang on, something moved. Something on my Twitch moved. That was weird. Anyways, I'll be right back. It's like, oh, here it is. Found it. Yeah, I have a footrest that if I'm not using as a footrest or an armrest, it turns into a backrest to guarantee that I have good posture. Because like with my desk setup, it's a little hard for me to like actually be using the backrest as a backrest and actually be like up into the mic to speak to everyone. I know it's a little confusing. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but just trust me on that. Just trust me on that. But no, okay. I think it's safe to say, like, listen. If you made it this far, you can probably hear the smile in my voice whenever I'm like, basically whenever I'm reading any single line of dialogue in this game or all of like the description and everything, because this has been excellent so far. I think like seeing the interaction between Quinn and Summer, I'm like, oh right, the people at Studio Lawn are just really good at writing like real, genuine human relationships. And they're just incredible at it. Hang on, I feel like I'm not over enough. Am I? Hang on, I need to move chat. Okay, nope. I feel like I'm over enough. I want to move myself slightly more. I feel like I'm not. There we go. And like, that's like, I don't know, for me, the characters are such a big part of like if I will or will not enjoy something. Like it's like the biggest aspect. Like you can have like the most like interesting plot or anything going on, but if the characters like I don't like or can't get into or don't find interesting, then it's like, okay, well, I'm out of here. But it's just like, again, the characters are just like I don't know, very like the word I will use is like genuine. Like they feel very real. Like, it doesn't feel like they're trying to like force anything with the characters. They're just being like, here's like this person, here's like their history, here's like their relationship. Like the moment like she went up and tugged on Quinn's like sweater, like little dinglies, I was like, yeah, yeah, no, that's just a thing that people do. And I feel like having like those like little like relationship quirks is something that like a lot of writers forget about, that people have like relationships. Like, okay, also I realized I haven't taken a drink since we started. I've gotten so into this, I haven't taken a single drink, and when I was just talking right there, I felt like my entire mouth be like, I'm dying, please hydrate me. Thank you, thank you. During the announcement stream for the Stream Jam, we did a collab on Leary's channel, and I kept making the horrible mistake of taking sips of water right before hydrate checks. So I was so overly hydrated, I felt like I was drowning. But you know what? They asked for hydrate checks, so we were hydrating. But yeah, like it's written so like all the relationships are like believable and feels natural and just genuine, and that's like what makes me happy. Like as soon as she did that, and like the way that they were talking to each other, and like the way like her emotions were being described, I'm like, yeah, I forgot. Like I didn't really forget, but it was like sort of like, oh yeah, the reason like I love like Please Be Happy and like just like Studio Lawn projects is just because like it feels genuine, and like the emotions feel like so real, you know? Like even reading like some of like my favorite books, it's like, well, like, you know, these feel like characters as opposed to people, you know? And I understand like not everyone like wants that, and like do want more of like characters, if that makes sense. I hope like, I don't know, I'm gonna be like really bad at explaining like the difference. Like, you know, characters are like, you look at someone and you're like, yeah, here are like their character traits, and here's like their relationships, like whatever, like they're very like simple to describe. Whereas like with characters that feel more like genuine people, it's like I could go on and talk about like this person for like ever, and go into like all the like the little intricacies of like what makes them them. They're a lot harder to describe than like here's like a character trait, like a list of character traits essentially. And it's like, I don't know. And again, like just the emotions and everything that they're going through are just like written in such like a realistic way, and like just such a natural way that I'm like, oh, this feels so real. And I feel like that's like, I don't know, I feel like that's probably like the strongest point of like Studio Lane projects, is that like it's very easy for people to relate to just because of like how real it all feels, I guess. Like I'm sitting here like, dang, everything that Summer's describing and like talking about like hits so hard if you've like graduated from high school and lost touch with like friends who you're very close to and stuff like that, are like struggling with life. And I'm like, yeah, and the way that they're talking about it like is so real. They're not like playing it up or like downplaying it all. It's like it's just like perfectly managed, where I'm like, yeah, no, it just feels like this is what her feelings are, you know? I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I might have just talked in circles a little bit. I'm just going to assume that it made sense, and we're going to keep on moving. But yeah, no, like, and like the characters themselves are like so like either fun or like interesting, and I want to know more about them. Like Summer so far, Summer's so good. She's a little cutie patootie, and she's so relatable, and she seems like such a fun person, but she also has like so many like struggles so far, and again, all those struggles feel so real instead of them like feeling like I don't know, nothing about her as a person feels like contrived at all, if that makes any sense. Like it just feels like here's like this person again, and like you just really get like a deep dive into her already, and like why she feels the way she feels. And I'm like, yeah, no, I feel like I just like get it essentially. And then like you have like Quinn, and like they're so interesting, especially with the way it was like described of how like they were just sleeping on the floor, and then the next thing Summer knows is Quinn's just leaving and says, no, I'm never coming back. And I'm just like, I want to know your story so bad. Please tell me everything. I can't wait for you to tell me like your entire life story. So I'm so interested in that. And then Curiosity is obviously the cutest thing ever. I love that robot. I would do anything for that robot. And after this stream is over, I want to go on to the merch store and see if they have any merch made of Curiosity, cause I need it. And I'm like, I'm already kind of like maybe seeing like some parallels between like Curiosity and Summer, of being like, here's Summer who's like, you know, trying things and not really enjoying things and doesn't really know what they're doing with their life and don't really want to like, she's not trying much to like actually like expand her horizons essentially. Like she has like, again, this whole universe, maybe a second universe to like see and live in. And she's just like, well, I'm just kind of gonna stay here and just kind of keep waiting for life to come to me. But then you have Curiosity, who's like this tiny little robot, and they're just going around and just being like, I want to know about this thing, I want to know about this thing, I want to go do this, I want to go do that. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like there could be some parallels being like set up between them. Like maybe not, maybe they are. Like when I'm like theorizing about a story, I love theorizing about stories while I'm reading them. Like that's something I've come to like do more and more as time has gone on. And even if I'm completely wrong, that's totally fine. I never get so invested in like what my own theories are of like where the story is gonna go that I'm like disappointed if it doesn't happen, I guess. Unless the actual story is like terrible, in which case I'll go, man, the thing I had in my head is way better than this garbage, essentially. But yeah, no. And then like Ma and Ma are like, I don't know. We haven't had too much of them yet. We've had like a single scene and just a few lines where I'm already like, I like you guys already. You guys are already kind of fun. I like you guys. I want to know more about you. And that's like the thing, like everyone we've been introduced to already, I'm like, I either like you or I like them already and I want to know more about all of them. This is essentially how I'm feeling about everyone. But yeah, I think that's like my main thoughts so far. I mean, we're only like an hour and a half in. Actually, probably less than that, considering I've spent the first like 11 minutes of this just talking about life and stuff. And I was planning to go a little bit longer with that, but I was sitting here like, I don't know. If you can't tell, I love Studio Lawn projects because I was just sitting there like that whole time being like, I want to get to the game. And there are stuff like some stuff I forgot to talk about that I'll probably talk about at the end of the stream and maybe at the beginning of like the next couple, just to make sure it gets out there because it's slightly important, just a little important. And by a little important, I mean very important. But yeah, no, there's some other stuff that I like meant to talk about. But I was like, I can't wait to get into this because I've been looking like, during my break, I just kept thinking like, man, I could just play Summer right now. It's been the same thing with like the Headwell Lost, where I was just like, I could also just play the Headwell Lost. Nothing bad's gonna happen except for the fact that I wouldn't like have done them on stream or anything. And I'm like, well, but I can't not. I have to stream it. I have to. I either have to stream it or record it. You know. So I was like, dang. I guess I gotta wait till I'm streaming again, and you know it was well worth the wait, and I've been so excited for it. But that's why I couldn't like wait to get into it because I've like just been sitting here ruminating on like my excitement for it, and it's just been building and building, you know. And so I'm just like, I gotta get into it. I gotta start playing, and now here we are, and I'm loving it. It's so good so far. I'm also going to move some stuff around really quick, and then we can get back into it. I need to take one more drink, just one more drink. See, I get way too invested into like reading and everything when it comes to these visual novels. I'm constantly for like, I just like, this isn't like a one-off thing. Almost every single time we do like a visual novel streaming, I'll just be sitting there reading and talking for like an hour and a half, hour and like 50 minutes, like somewhere in that time zone. And then suddenly I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm like dying. I need water. My mouth is a Sahara Desert right now. Actually, one more drink. There we go. Okay. Now with that being said, let's get back into it. Oh no. Does my keyboard not work? Oh, I probably need to actually like click on this. I was going to try my keyboard just because I feel like that might be more comfortable. Just because my arm has been up on my desk all day. I was like, I really don't want to have to do that. I don't really want to use my mouse more. So I was going to use my keyboard. But I think it all just might have like, but I need to click on it. There we go. Hey! I kick off my shoes, leaving them near the growing pile of hiking boots, and follow the scent of butter cookies towards the living room.
Hey, Sunshine.
It works!
We were wondering what happened to you.
Summer, come eat these before we finish them all ourselves. Ma came close.
You've got Mom to thank. I was ready to make you wait for the next batch.
I've had all kinds of good luck tonight.
Leaning in, I steal a cookie from Ma's plate. For the first time, I realize my cheeks are sore from smiling. That's how I feel while playing this! Oh my gosh!
I have good news.
I take a bite while I grin at them, letting crumbs fall from my face.
Oh, do share.
Don't keep us in suspense over here.
I'm also gonna move my mic slightly more, just because, I slightly moved my positions. There we go. That should sound slightly better. Maybe the same. I'm probably close to the same, but you know, it makes me feel better.
Not sure I want to tell someone who is ready to let me go without cookies like that.
Summer.
Mom leans forward, right over Ma's lap, and lowers her voice.
I'll keep it a secret.
I look over at Ma, who's maintaining a steady expression, looking at her fingernails and pretending not to care. Just then, the timer starts to ring from the kitchen. Ma looks from there, where the next batch is ready to be taken out, and back to Mom and me. I can see the pained look in her eyes.
I take bribes.
I'll let you release the ladybugs tomorrow morning.
Deal! I was gonna tell both of you anyway.
What a dirty trick! Who raised you?
Mom throws her hands up and leans back in her chair, smiling, even in her mock indignance. Ma shakes her head as she goes and slides the tray out of the oven, bringing each of us a hot, fresh cookie on our way back. Keeping things a secret together is fun to bribe Ma with sometimes, but, well, I really, really want to tell both of them. I open my mouth to talk, and then my mind goes blank completely. Oh, this feeling's so real. Me, whenever anyone asks, I'll be saying that like, oh, I really want to tell people about this stuff. When it comes to finally tell them, I have no idea what to say anymore. The air conditioner gets quieter as both Mom and Ma look at me expectantly, like even it's waiting to hear what I have to say. I'm aware of how my hair sticks to my neck and shoulders with sweat, and how my hands shake a little from the exertion. Just from the exertion, I clenched them into fists and try again,
Summer, are you all right?
Mom places a hand on my knee. I shake my head, nodding, and I feel a hot tear roll down my cheek from the movement.
Oh, no. Oh, why? Why am I crying? I'm happy. I promise. It's good news.
I'll go get you a water.
Mom stays behind and rubs my back. Within only a moment, I feel the water bottle press into my hands. I flip open the top and sip, focusing on the taste of mint and cucumber. Deep breath.
Better?
Yeah. Better.
One more sip just for good measure. I hold it tightly on my lap and look down towards it, trying to find the words again.
I saw Quinn. They were at the high school.
That opens the floodgates, the one I was looking for. Not more out of nowhere crying. It's not a long story, but I find myself caught up in the details. Leaving my jacket behind, the little robot, odd way it spoke and floated about unlike any robot I've ever seen. Seeing Quinn, worrying the whole time about what I was saying, if they were happy to see me, the relief of that hug we shared, the promise of seeing each other again tomorrow.
I don't know what we're gonna even do together. I don't even know if I should plan anything or just show up.
Mom lets out a slow sigh, her brows knitting together the same way they do when a plant is struggling in the greenhouse, or a recipe turns out wrong. It doesn't happen often.
It's not that serious.
Huh? Mom's face relaxes and she meets my gaze with a soft smile. Behind her, Ma grimaces.
I think she's trying to say that Quinn is your friend, right? Don't overthink it.
Exactly. You were happy to see each other. It'll all work out.
Mom tends to simplify her thoughts as much as possible, often leading to situations like these. Mom's relentless optimism and simplicity balances out well with Ma's groundedness. And, well, overthinking. Ma really underestimates how much I get from her.
You're thinking too big about what to do and what to say. Just start small. Like, how do you feel about it? One word.
Oh. Do we have saves? We have saves. Also, such a cute little pause screen. I love it. Chapter 1, Dither. Ooh. Oh! They have it here. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. We have the whole UI to explore now. This is the... I love the little departure Florel thing. And then the fact that these all look like passports. Oh, I love it. Hang on. How does like the... Well, we've already seen what the log looks like. Load. Okay. That's what I figured. Oh, wait. What are they? I didn't even look at the options. Sound. Voices. Display. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Perfect. Sort of nervous and maybe looks. You know, this was exactly me in therapy not too long ago. Describe how you are in one word. Sort of nervous and maybe a little excited, but not like too much. I gotta click that one.
Sort of nervous and maybe a little excited, but not like too much.
That's... what is it? 12 too many? Fancy.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Anxious?
Or that one.
Yeah, antsy and anxious.
Still too many words, but this time I smile at the situation. Mom ruffles my hair a bit.
Close enough for me. I understand some, but, well, you're a good kid, Summer. You're one of the funniest, brightest young ladies this side of the universe. I'm sure Quinn will remember that if they've somehow managed to forget after all this time. They're a good kid, too.
It's weird being called kids when we're both in our 20s, but I nod. I guess to her we're still the hyperactive 12-year-olds running around in the backyard, and our years of silence is nothing more than a rough patch. In a way, she might be right.
I'm worried I might scare them off or completely fumble it somehow.
But
when I saw Quinn earlier, it felt so lucky. Like I glanced up just in time to see a shooting star. I got caught up in it, and even if I was worried, I was just so happy to see them that it didn't matter.
So you just lost your momentum.
Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely overthinking.
told you so.
I smirk and poke her, which she returns by handing me another cookie.
Eat up then. Good food and a nice movie helps everything.
Well, let's not go crazy on the cookies until you've had some actual food. We have some leftover pho if you want.
What is pho? Excuse me, what?
Please!
Ma stands up again and brings the tray of cookies with her to the kitchen, out of Ma and I's reach, but not before Ma now grabs another two for us. Good food and a nice movie. I'm not sure if I can provide a movie, but as I bask in the gingery, sweet smell of dinner, and savor like the spice. Sweet smell of dinner and savor each bite. I wonder when the last time Quinn went out to eat was. It's a random thought, but I feel it prodding my brain as the night goes on. Even growing up, all of their lunches at school were something like a bag of chips and instant noodles. The only time they really ate dinner was at our house. I don't know what our plans will be, or what we'll talk about, but I'm sure we can figure it out over lunch. One step at a time. I fall asleep on the couch, bundled up in the quilted blanket and to the old rom-com movie Ma always puts on as comfort. Ah, we love seeing sweet, supporting families. Hang on, but I gotta... Hang on. What is pho? Images. Oh! This looks incredible! Screenshot? Vietnamese beef noodle? Chicken soup? Ooh. Okay, well, I have something to look into later. The rich, earthy smell of soil permeates the entire greenhouse. The humidity sticks to my skin like a familiar summer afternoon, despite it still being dark outside. For the first time in a long time, I woke up before my alarm. Not early enough to beat my moms, who are both inside and awake. They've always been early risers. The persistent buzz of anticipation for the coming day kept me from sleeping in. There's so many questions I want to ask Quinn when I see them, and so many more I wonder if I even should. Plus, there's a lingering nerves that came from messaging the other two. The first thing I did when I opened my eyes this morning was check for a response, but there wasn't any, not from either of them. Well, you did just do it last night, and it's early in the morning, you know. Granted, I can't imagine the horrendous, the horrors of time zones when you have the entire universe. That must be the worst. At least the ladybugs are waiting for me. They've got a date with the cucumber plants, and it's up to me to play matchmaker.
Good luck today, ladies. Knock 'em dead.
Early morning, right after the garden is watered, is the ideal time for letting ladybugs out. They're more likely to stick around instead of flying away and leaving you behind. I spread open the mesh net that they're carried in, trying to coax them out onto the leaves.
Come on. I know it's scary, but you gotta get out there.
It's not like I'm really asking the girls to deal with something as scary as romance. I'm just asking them out to dinner. Our exceptionally rainy season has led to a lot of pests, so the ladybugs will help deal with them. I shake the bag, and a handful of them tumble out, quickly righting themselves as they land. I reach in, letting a few crawl onto my arm, then I lean in closer, parking them right beside their destination.
Look, VIP service.
They slowly start to make their way over onto the plants. Some instantly take wing, flying off to other parts of the garden. As long as they stay in the area, it's good enough for me.
Alright, now for the next group.
I make my way slowly around the area, repeating what I just did over and over. The sun starts to rise and I take my time, grounding myself within the moment. The cold stone floor under my bare feet, the tickling of ladybugs crawling up my arm. The pause helps me feel like I can face the day. After I finish releasing all the bugs, I wander around the greenhouse like a moth, moving from lamp to lamp. While I'm pacing, the door slides open and Ma pokes her head in.
Some. You ever coming downstairs?
Soon. Why?
There's pancakes. And a surprise.
A surprise? Is the surprise a person? Ooh?
What's the surprise?
It wouldn't be a surprise if I told you. Now, get your butt down there.
Ma shuts the door again, leaving me on my own. I don't even know what the surprise could be. This must be Ma's way of getting back at me for threatening to keep a secret from her before. I head inside and wash my hands thoroughly. I already took a cold shower this morning, so I'm ready to go. I follow the scent of warm syrup down the stairs toward the kitchen.
Such an appetite.
You're gonna choke if you don't slow down a little. No one's gonna steal them, you know.
But they're super tasty! Plus the chef is super pretty too.
Ah, brother. What does that have to do with anything?
I freeze dead in my tracks, or that I didn't actually just hear the voice I thought I heard.
Still quite the charmer, huh? Well, it's a good thing the chef prepared extra today. Help yourself.
Hell yeah! Thanks! I will...
For the love of... Drink your milk, Lancaster.
Lancaster?
I whisper the name back to myself. It comes out in hushed disbelief. I fly around the corner and catch her right as she's about to cram an entire pancake into her mouth.
Is he?
The pancake dangles off the head of the fork and the determined look in her eyes fade. Her face goes totally blank. For long, excruciating seconds we stare at each other, neither knowing what to do, how to react. Oh gosh, it's awkward. It's already awkward. I just burst in here like a maniac, screaming her name. If there were an official list of things you shouldn't do after not seeing someone for years, I'm certain this would be at the top of it. No, it just shows that you're excited to see her. It's so fine.
Hi, Summer?
Leaping to her feet, her tall legs knock her chair to the floor. By the time I realize what's happening, she's already charging straight for me, arms spread wide. I brace myself for a tackle and a hug, but Izzy goes one step beyond and scoops me off my feet. Oh, she's so fun. I love her already. Also, the purple hair and eyes, beautiful, beautiful, such a good look. I dig my nails into her denim jacket and hold on as tight as I can. Emotions rise and fall faster than I can process them. Everything comes and goes as one loud squeal. We bump into cupboards, we flail against counters, and even though I almost send the bowl of pancake batter flying, I see my mom smiling. Izzy finally sets me down, holding my shoulders firmly in place so I can find my balance. Even when I do, I still feel dizzy. My head is swimming with so many questions.
I can't. What? When? Why? How? I got your text, man. Figured I'd hop over and answer in person. Revive the old tradition of bugging you at the crack of dawn.
And I was just thinking maybe Mimi and I could have a nice, quiet morning together.
Breakfast with Izzy before school weren't uncommon. In fact, it was weirder if she wasn't here. If she didn't sleep over the night before, then she was almost always here in time to wake me up.
You're not bugging me. You've never bugged me.
Her smile slips, and so does her grip on me. But right when I start to worry really hard that I said something weird, she pulls me in tighter and smirks.
Good.
I rest my forehead on my shoulder. It's toned and hard. The texture of her jacket brushes against my skin, and the cinnamon tinge of her cologne is so strong it burns the hairs in my nose. That was a hard sentence for me to say. But that's all Izzy. Decisively Izzy. It all melds together to signal that she's here, and that's what matters. Mom gives an exaggerated stretch and a yawn.
Well, I think a nice walk would make it a perfect morning.
She prods Ma with an elbow.
You're right. Let me just put my shoes on and we can head out.
Wow, real subtle.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
Whatever could you mean?
I just laugh. I do appreciate my parents giving us some alone time to catch up. Ma waves from the other room, linking arms with Mom. With her free hand, she wags a finger at Izzy.
Lancaster?
Sup?
Don't break anything.
You've got my word, Mrs. N. I won't break anything I can't fix.
Ma grimaces but shrugs.
At least I know you're good for it.
It was nice seeing you again, sweetie. And let your parents know we said thank you for all their hard work getting the power back on during that nasty storm.
Count on it.
Oh, and expect a gift basket soon.
Ooh.
All right. Let's get out of their hair now.
Mom sprinkles us a wave as they disappear around the corner. The door shuts and the wind chimes on the porch sing their gentle song. Alone in the quiet of the kitchen, I just look at her, taking in all the details.
What? Something on my face?
I mean, actually, a little something. I was going to ask if those were freckles or if you were had stickers on or something. Also, she's just looking at you, you know.
Actually, yeah.
Oh wait, I unironically thought they just weren't going to address that at all. So I'm so glad they are. Across the bridge of her nose and cheeks are glittering specks of purple and blue, looking like something between confetti and freckles.
It's looking pretty colorful.
She rubs her nose.
Yeah, that's what happens with dark energy. Got him on my arms, too.
Dark energy makes cute little bright spots? That seems like the opposite of what it would do, but alright. With a flex, her biceps bulge under her sleeve. She gestures a few times, so I give it a quick squeeze. Solid.
Still working the form, huh?
Awesome. I love their dynamic already so much.
Of course I am. What else would I be getting up to?
Trouble?
Well, that just goes without saying.
Beside me, Izzy was the only one of us to stick around and stay on Pharrell after graduation. We've bumped into each other occasionally in town, but never with more than a word or two of greeting. It's been a while since the last time, though.
To be honest, I figured you joined the Peace Rangers by now.
Ooh. Izzy winces at my words. She deflates like a balloon, losing all of its hot air.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, life.
Breaking out of my hug with a shrug, she leans against the counter, staring up at the ceiling fan as it spins in circles.
I think I've mostly given up on that at this point.
No, don't give up on your dreams. Make them come true.
What?
It ain't that weird, is it?
Kinda. Yeah, you've always talked about joining. As soon as you had the chance.
Even the last time we really talked, that was her goal, her dream, as far back as middle school when she and I first met. There was an ongoing tectonic crisis happening on some far-off planet, and the Peace Rangers were in charge of rescue and restoration. We talked about it some in class, but Izzy was obsessed, reading extra videos and articles all on her own. It was the only occasion that I can remember her really being excited in school. When the crisis was finally declared over, I remember watching the announcement with Izzy. Just watch some. One of these days, I'm going to be up there doing that. So hearing that she's given up makes me fear for the worst.
What happened? Oh, my stars. Did something happen to one of your parents? Izzy, I swear if one of your parents died and you didn't tell me, I'm going to cry right here, right now.
Whoa. Nothing happened. All 7 of them are doing great. Mama's even got another one on the way.
Oh, that is the most I'm done with you face I've ever seen.
Another one?
Yeah, there's like 20 of us now. It's getting real stupid.
Also, whoever is playing Izzy makes all of their lines so good. So good.
Oh, wow.
I back away towards the table and sit down, finally starting on my own breakfast. The syrup has gotten cold again, but I don't mind that. I like it better. That's weird. Weird. Cold pancakes? Ugh.
That's so many.
I mean, she had a lot of brothers and sisters when I was around, but not... Oh, gosh. I didn't realize that part was... Oh. I thought that part was the joke, not... She can't actually... 20. That... Oh. I feel so bad. I feel so bad.
Believe me, I know. This'll probably be the last one, though.
Is that what's kept you around then? Taking care of everyone and helping out on the farm?
Kinda. It's more like... I don't have to think about anything. Do my work during the day, get wasted afterwards, then wake up and do it all again.
Oh.
It's easier this way.
I can't believe it.
Right? We go through a crap ton of food. Every meal is like a buffet.
Having watched her just eat half of her body weight in pancakes, I know how hard it can be to feed just one Lancaster.
Well, that too, but not what I meant. I mean you.
Everyone's gotta grow up at some point, right?
I just frown in response. I don't want to seem like I'm judging her or anything. It's just that so much as hearing the words I've given up goes against everything I know about Izzy. In some ways, being stuck here where we grew up, I can relate. But at least she had something else to fall back on with her family's DE farm. As one of the few dark energy providers in our solar... Oh, I should have put together that DE was dark energy. Dark energy providers in our solar region, they've always got a lot of orders to fill, so I'm sure she's keeping busy at least. Just like me, always busy without doing much. With a shake of her head, Izzy gets back on track.
Enough about my boring life. What's going on with your boring life?
Dang, how'd you know it was boring? I giggle. It's like she read my mind. I quickly cram the rest of my meal into my mouth, then add my plate to the other already impressive stack.
Help me with the dishes while I tell you?
She shoves one more pancake into her mouth and rolls up her sleeves.
I scrub, you load.
I ramble on for a while about the past few days of my recent work for Cece. At the same time, we work together to deal with the dishes, which also include last night's cookie-making bowls. Like always, the two of us make a pretty efficient team, at least at first. Izzy starts to go faster and faster, the slippery ceramic coming dangerously close to falling out of her hands more than once.
Hey, maybe don't...
Nice, let's go! Can you fix it, though? Shards of ceramic whiz past my face as Izzy is left just holding a soapy sponge.
You need to stop scrubbing so hard!
But the gunk! It doesn't want to come off!
She bends down and picks up some of the larger pieces of broken plate.
You know what? I'm just gonna take these home. Glue them back together.
That's really not...
No, let her try. Let her do it, let her do it. I'm sure your moms will love it.
No, I promised her. I've got a moral obligation to make good on it now.
So based, so based. She's changed in some ways, but Izzy has still managed to hold on to her convictions.
Okay, well, we can deal with that later. For now, how about you do the loading instead?
She glances at me, then the dishwasher.
No! I've got to prove I can do this now, too!
And her stubbornness. I grab her shoulders, then gently rotate us until our spots have been reversed.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
How could I let this happen? She tricked me! It doesn't take long to get back into the swing of it. Soon enough, my shriveled hands are passing along a freshly rinsed plate every couple minutes. Izzy stacks them on top of each other in the dishwasher, creating one big pile instead of rows. Oh, Lord, Izzy. Oh, honey. Oh, sweetie, please. Yeah, you know what? At least she's trying. I gently correct the mistake, trying to make it obvious what I'm doing.
So, you haven't heard back from Hanners yet, huh?
Nope. I'm trying not to think about it too much. I hope she just hasn't seen it or something. Not that she's ignoring me.
It's Hanners. She'd never shirk off a message from you.
How can you be so sure?
She snorts as I hand her the next plate.
Trust me. I'm sure. If it makes you feel any better, she always answers my texts.
I was gonna say, ooh, that means she's probably always had a crush on us or something. Way to make the situation way worse. She's now gonna be like, well, she hasn't answered my text yet. Wait, hang on, doesn't that also mean that you guys have been texting and stuff?
You two still text? More than just birthday messages?
Even I've gotten a few of those at least.
Sure. Every once in a while.
What does she say?
Izzy, go to bed. You're drunk.
I'm not sure if that counts or not, but either way, why does she drunk text Hannah and not me? I want drunk texts from my friends.
My point is, don't worry too much about it. She probably just doesn't have any service right now or something. But if I know Hanners, she'll get back to you ASAP.
I hope so.
Now, Gwyn is a whole other thing. The fact that you even managed to bump into them at all is wild.
Izzy grabs the next plate before I even let go of it, then locks eyes with me. She holds one side and I hold the other.
You don't think they would have gone off-world again without saying hi to us, do you?
It's a fair question, but not one I would have expected. Or maybe just one I didn't want to think about.
They promised not to, but I am a little worried.
Did just kind of ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Harrison rated my stream with 5 viewers.
Thank you so much for the raid, Ari. That scared me. I heard the thing and then I saw all the stuff coming in. Thank you so much for the raid, Ari Song. How was your stream? What were you guys doing? How is everything going? Saba Unilove. Oh wait, Gubiho raid? Oh my gosh, were you reading Please Be Happy? Is that what you guys are doing? Ooh, if so, how was it? How is it going? Hello, we were just streaming Twofold. Oh, you're streaming Twofold? Oh, how is it? That's like, after I finish this demo, that is what I plan to get into next, because I've only heard incredible things about it. Oh no, I'm just a Gumiho VTuber. Oh, okay. Checks out, makes sense. That's awesome. But yeah, no, how was the stream? How was Twofold? How are you liking it? Again, only heard good things. And thank you everyone for being here. Oh my gosh, there are so many people here now. You know, we're just playing through some of Summer at the Edge of the Universe. This is the demo for it now, and it's so good so far. If you're interested at all in it, just check it out. Twofold is really great so far. We're playing through the Caprice route right now. It's peak fiction. That's what I've heard. I'm so excited for it because after I've read First Snow, and that was so good, and I know that Twofold's a sequel to it, and again, just everyone says incredible things about it, and after reading the first one, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. But I've also been dying to read Summer, so I was like, you know what, Summer? It's just a demo. I'll get to that after this. I love the new Samayuni demo so much. Who's your favorite character right now? Also, I love trying to abbreviate this. I was thinking about doing that when I was like tweeting out about like streaming this. I was like, this is a lot to like do that for. I'm just gonna say Summer at the Edge of the Universe. Right now, okay, in terms of design, it's definitely Quinn. Their design is, it's just peak, but it's probably a tie between Izzy or Curiosity. They're both just adorable dorks, and I love them so much already. Quinn's so fun. Curiosity's the cutest thing on the planet. I would die for them so easily. But with Izzy, I feel like she's going to also make me very sad, and I'm not ready for that because she's just so happy. But sometimes she'll just slip into being sad, and like it already is like hurting my heart. Quinn, but you're also so. Yes, thank you. Listen. They're probably the character. Quinn's the character I'm like most interested in right now. They're just so mysterious and aloof, and again, S-tier designs will always make me more interested in that characters. But from the interactions we've had so far, again, it's Curiosity and Quinn are at the top. I just love them. I just love them so much. Wait. Hang on. For everyone who's played it, who's your guys' favorite characters and why? Without spoilers, obviously. Like if it's like Hannah or something, don't be like, oh, it's Hannah because of all these things that you haven't gotten to yet, because we haven't actually been introduced to her yet. We've talked about her a lot, but we haven't quite gotten there. But like so you can feel free to talk about like any of the other characters, just not the ones we haven't met yet, essentially. Because like, but all the characters are so great. Like, just talking about like it being Izzy and Curiosity, I'm like, okay, but it's also killing me inside to not talk about how much I love Summer, because she's just, everything she like feels is just so real. It just makes so much sense. It like just hits like so close to home for like probably so many people. So many people can just like relate to her stuff like so bad. Also, I wanted to thank Epsilon Sylvia for the follow. It popped up earlier, but I didn't quite like see the name of it. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Yes, it does. It just, that was I just posture checked myself and my entire back just snapped. I kind of hope that didn't pop up on the mic for people who are like sensitive to that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, all the characters are great. Yes, Alonvians have the habit of cutting deep, right? And yeah, we took a break like about an hour and a half in just to be like, yeah, Studio Lawn projects have a tendency to just like feel very real and very genuine, and that's why like I know already it's just gonna make me cry. It's just gonna make me cry everywhere, and I'm already expecting it. Like, I cried so much during Please Be Happy, and some of the things that happened in First Snow, like, I felt like they make the emotions feel so real that even if it wasn't like the saddest things ever, I was like, this is kind of making me tear up a little bit. So yeah, no, I'm just so not ready for it. I'm so not ready for it to get sad. Or I guess like start cutting too deep. Granted, it's already doing that with Summer. Like, I'm already saying like, I'm starting to feel a little called out by what Summer's going through, which is exactly how I felt with Miho, which is exactly how I felt with I believe Allison was her name in First Snow. It feels too real. It feels too genuine. But I think with that, you guys want to get back into reading this, because granted, I kind of don't want to. It's sort of like that thing of like, when you know, it's sort of like when I was reading like A Tith in Blood. Like, I'm sitting here like so fascinated to know where it's going, but then I also don't know if I'm emotionally ready for it, because if you can tell by the music, it's a little sad right now. And I don't know if I'm ready for it yet. But we should probably... Oh, big mood. Yeah, everything with Studio Lawn stuff tends to just hit you with the big mood. I think I can handle whatever's about to happen, even if the sad music is playing. I think I'm ready.
If there were ever a good time to do it, I guess it would have been after what happened.
Oh gosh, what happened?
Yeah.
I finally let go of the plate. Izzy's hand falls to her side as she gazes out the window.
I never stopped.
Huh? Stopped what?
Hoping, I mean.
Oh?
I always believed I'd see them again, you know? Even if it was when we were old and wrinkly.
At least you held out for hope, though. That's awesome.
Sometimes I'd even daydream about it.
Oh, please don't cry. If you cry, I might.
All of you guys, really.
She tries to play it off with a chuckle, but her tense shoulders and sharp breaths give away how difficult talking about this is for her. Izzy has never had a filter. The delay between the words in her head and the words coming out of her mouth has been non-existent as far back as I can remember.
All those years of the four of us being so tight and always being together. Then it just stopped. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, stop, Izzy, stop. I can't handle this. I nod. I know exactly what she means, of course. Even after Hannah and Quinn left, Izzy and I still tried to hang out together a couple times, but somehow it just didn't work. It was like Izzy couldn't look me in the eye anymore. Oh no, what happened? I feel like there's so much more to that story than what we were just told. I thought maybe I just needed to give her some space, a little while apart to help bandage over the lingering awkwardness. Is it just that though? Is it just that though? But without me realizing it, a little while turned into a long time, and life moved on.
I couldn't believe it either. Especially not when we were still so close by. I've just been here this whole time.
I know you were. Are.
If we've both been feeling like this, then I wish we would have just said so sooner. All that time we could have spent differently.
Okay, but you can't be looking back on the past like that. You just have to accept that it happened. Otherwise, life would just suck if you just like stayed on that thought.
I was going to.
Oh?
Tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. Then tomorrow would come and I just freeze.
She's so real for that. Also, I was looking at Izzy, so out of the corner of my eye when like Summer put her hand up in her hair, I thought she was flipping Izzy off, and I was so lost until I actually looked at her and was like, oh, she's just pushing back her hair, it's fine. The dishes have been long abandoned. Sitting back down at the counter, I put my hand on her arm.
I get you. Me too. I kept thinking that I just didn't do enough. That maybe if I tried harder, things would have been different.
Yeah, man, that was the problem. You were the one who worked so freaking hard on Quinn's party.
Oh, also, I should clarify, that laugh was at your message, Ari Song. That was not me laughing at them. I realized that without me acknowledging that might come off as super insensitive, like, here we are talking about our feelings and how much we, like, regret and wish things were different, and then I'm just sitting here cackling at them. That would be terrible of me.
And when I went and messed things up, you were the one I let down.
The way she says it, the way her face falls, suddenly I understand something. Oh no, you're good, Lamouth. Thank you. Suddenly I understand something.
Izzy, you don't think what happened was your fault, right?
Come on, Sum. Don't act like you don't. I saw how pissed you were that day.
That wasn't... Of course I was upset. It wasn't anyone's fault. It was just us being dumb kids. Dumb kids who let this go on too long.
What is happening with my face? Oh, that was just on the stream. Okay, my face was freaking out for a little bit there. It was just on the stream. We are fine. Oh, I can't tell if I really hope that they go into what like happened between them, or if I don't want them to go into that yet.
Yeah, well, I definitely didn't help things. And since then, it's like time has been standing still. Like I've been running in place. You ever feel that way?
We're having a serious talk, but it's hard not to crack a smile. Look at her. Getting so worked up over the exact same thing as me. All these years and the exact same worries and anxieties were swimming around in her head too. Right across town.
Yeah, I do.
More than you know.
Well, I'm sick of it. I want to move on with my life. I want to do things.
Based. If I had like a sound where I'd be playing the air horn right now saying it. She turns around, tears swelling up in her eyes, and through the frustration and hurt, she still manages to flash me a big grin.
And I guess what I really want is to just see my friends again.
Me too.
Pulling her into a tight hug, I try to squeeze out all the bad feelings. The two of us hang out for a while longer, until it's time for me to get ready to meet up with Quinn. Izzy is like me for real right now. She's so real for that. Like, I was just saying that, like, I don't know if you guys could hear it in my voice, but like there was a part of me that like getting like a little choked up right there. I was like, oh, I'm sure like we could all relate to Izzy just a little bit right now with everything that's like going on with her. That was like too relatable. That feeling of just wanting to move. Yes, exactly. The feeling of like, I'm so ready for this part of my life to be over, and I need to keep going right now. I need to like move on with my life to proceed in whatever way I can. It's like, yeah, no, I get that so much right now. In a lot of ways, the two of us have had similar arcs. I love her describing it as similar arcs. Similar arcs since we last saw each other. We both just fell into the easiest life path, sticking with what we'd been doing since we were young. I feel bad for thinking it, but it's kind of comforting to know that I'm still not alone in that regard. As surprised as I was to find out she's still around, I can totally understand her reasons. Before Izzy leaves, we solemnly pledge to see each other again soon. Whether it's here, the Lancasters' compound, or somewhere else entirely, I see her off with a wave, which she returns until she's out of sight. Heart feeling full, I turn around to shut the door behind me, only to find my parents waiting for me in the kitchen. They're crowded around the dining table like gossiping girls in the cafeteria.
So, how'd it go?
Gotta keep moving. Exactly. You just gotta keep moving forward. You can't stay stuck, no matter how, even if it's the easier way, you can't stay stuck. Yes, and with that context, makes even more sense, and it feels nice to have that craving of being like, no, I'm ready for something new with my life, like the drive and want to do more with it, you know, and yeah, do it your own way, essentially, you know, exactly as you said.
Oh, well, you know.
Don't make me break out the ladybugs again, girl.
Alright, it went really good. Turns out Izzy never left Florel either. She told me all about her parents and siblings. She's got another one on the way.
Another parent or another sibling?
I had that okay, when we were going over that scene of being like, haha, how are your parents? Well, we're getting another one. I legitimately thought when she first said that, I was like, wait, what do you mean? Do you mean another parent? And then when she said 20, I was just sitting there like, are we about to move into some really awkward territories that I don't want to like talk about right now? And then there was like, oh no, those are siblings. Not much better, but it's still better. I'll take having 20 siblings over having 20 parents any day.
Sibling this time. Izzy was talking about how crazy it is over there with so many of them around.
Stars, I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. We had our hands full just with you.
They have more people to help watch over the little ones, though.
Still, it was busy enough the last few times I went there. Can't imagine what it's like now.
You'll just have to go see it for yourself.
Yeah, I might. She would have stayed longer, but I had to go get ready to see Quinn. Wait, I need to go get ready to see Quinn!
My one brain cell activating, I dart past my folks, rushing up the stairs. Everything has been happening so fast these past couple of days, I feel like I can barely keep up. Despite my messed up sleep, I'm not really tired, just a little overwhelmed. I wouldn't have it any other way though. Once I'm all set, I give both of my moms a goodbye hug and kiss on the cheek, and then I'm out the door. I imagine how it is at the Lancaster's house now. It's just like one of those like cartoonishly long table that they all gather around for like breakfast or whatever. And it's just like they had to like start tearing down walls just to have like a single kitchen table for them to sit at. That's how I imagine it is. I wait for Quinn on the main street of Willowmere. The street is nothing if not two very important things: in the shade and home to one of Quinn's favorite food trucks.
One burger with extra pickles. And for me, how about mixed vegetable wrap?
Sure thing.
Okay, so the best chef this side of Willowmere gets to work on our orders. I lean on the food truck's counter and fiddle with one of the pens they keep for customers to draw on the weekly artboard. That's awesome. As I wait, I glance at the masterpieces that others have already drawn on the side of the truck. The usual suspects make their appearance: simple flowers and smiley faces, messages of inspirations, hearts and stars. My eye is drawn to a cute picture of a puppy wagging its tail with the words, "I'm doggone happy to eat at Cass's place." It's so cute. I smile back at the dog and decide to draw him a little meal as I wait. That's precious.
Hey, Summer, your order's done. Tell your Maz thanks for the cucumbers for me. The pickles turned out great.
Of course. Thanks, Case.
They give me a little wave and turn to a customer waiting in line, easily falling back into step with the routine. I've always admired people like them, able to decide on a path in life and just go for it. Case was a school tutor for a bit when I was young, just biding time until their perfect food truck was complete, and they could go off to follow their dream. To them, their dreams meant staying right here in Willowmere. I've thought about asking them about it sometime, but it never seemed quite appropriate. And anyway, it's not like it matters. The smile on their face whenever they open up the truck says it all. In a way, I guess Quinn isn't all that different. Before they left, they had talked a lot about their spaceship, about the repairs it was undergoing, and how they'd love to leave. At the time, they'd always said, all together. Obviously, that never quite happened. Between Hannah needing to go right into school and Izzy taking up a ton more responsibilities at the farm and my radio show, we just never found the time. I'm glad they went for it in the end, the circumstances notwithstanding. They followed their dreams like Hannah did, by going to become a planetary engineer. Like Izzy always pushed them to. Like I always wanted to, but didn't know how.
You are early.
Hello, the best thing in the entire universe.
Curiosity.
The small robot is right up to my face, hovering with a low whir of whatever fans or engines keep it afloat. Its face changes to an emote of confusion.
Or
Curiosity, my beloved.
Was late. A predicament.
No, for real. As soon as Curiosity, like after the first scene with Curiosity, I was like, listen, I might need to be checking out the merch store to see if they have any merch of Curiosity, and if so, I need to be picking it up, cause I need a plushie now. Exactly. That was why I was looking up like the little Miho plush. And I was like, I don't have space for it, but I could make space for a Curiosity plushie any day of the week. It'd be so easy, and I'd love it so much.
No, you're not late. Where's Quinn?
Oh, they're on their way. They send their apologies.
Oh.
Did they lose their nerve? I suppose they wouldn't send the robot if that were the case, but the idea they might just not show up isn't really a far-fetched one. Curiosity offers no more response than that, instead opting to take in the surroundings. The street itself doesn't seem very interesting to me, when its eyes light up each time it turns to face a new building.
What a magnificent planet. The trees grow in your buildings.
I guess it's pretty common nowadays, though, isn't it?
Curiosity doesn't reply, instead floating up a bit higher. When its eyes lock on the turbines in the distance, it bobs up and down.
Wind power! How exciting! It is one of the many green energy sources humans employ.
It is, yeah. There's solar panels on the rooftops, too. And all the bigger facilities are connected through a massive dark energy grid.
I don't know why. Massive dark energy grid just doesn't sound healthy for the environment. I could be wrong on that front. I'm not a dark energy expert, but it just sounds like it's not good for the environment. There's something incredibly endearing about how it moves and speaks, reminding me of the younger groups of kids I teach at CC from time to time. Even though Curiosity nods along to the other stuff, it seems fixated on the turbines. I wish I could look at life with the same love and excitement that Curiosity does. I hope you never change. Oh god, the discussion of dark matter and dark energy. Oh no. In my brain, they were the same thing. I'm sure there are different things of this. That's gonna get confusing. And both are probably terrible for the environment. I also don't know much about dark matter, but, you know, probably the same thing. There's no possible way it hasn't seen one of them before, right? From what Ma tells me, the wind-powered infrastructure is at the core of Florel's design. I don't exactly know how many planets were made in its generation, but it certainly wasn't a small amount. Most planets added wind turbines decades after, even if it wasn't their whole thing like it is here. I cross my arms, glancing around. Well, if there's no sign of Quinn yet...
What sort of places do you usually visit? You and Quinn, I mean.
Maybe this will be a good chance to get some talking points.
Oh, would you like to read a record of our exploits as of Backup 8126, Gemini Sol 2, Sol Lunae?
Sure.
Yes.
Its face immediately changes to one of a loading screen. I stand there across from it. The whirring in its body grows louder, and the looping of the icon on its face slows with each passing moment. I might be here for a while. Dark matter is the bad thing. Dark energy is just a component of...
Limit reached!
Wait. Dark... Quirks... Oh, dark energy is a real thing. See, I was real bad at science. I was terrible at it. Same thing with most subjects in school that were not English. English and history, those are my two things. So I'm so thankful that you're telling me that dark energy is a real thing and that it's a component in like electrons and neutrons and everything. I appreciate that so much. But it's good to know that I was right about dark matter being bad. I'm glad I know that. Curiosity needs more RAM chat. This is me whenever I'm talking to like people in real life. OMG, same. English and history were the two subjects I popped off in. It was so good. Listen. I've literally got 110% in my English classes in college, and then proceeded to fail both math and science. It felt real bad. Everything else went over my... Yeah, no, like I would sit there and try to like pay attention as hard as possible, and it would just one ear out the other. Like I'd have to do like study math so hard. Like I was with a tutor that the school provided so often, like almost every day, and then I still failed the final, and I was like, all right, well, time to not be here anymore. Also, thinking of like the Curiosity plushies, they could literally just like make one with each of its different expressions, and it's just printing money. I'd buy every single one. For the second time since it arrived, I jumped out of my skin and out of my head, forced back into the present.
Stars! Maximum limit for what? What does that mean?
There is a lot of data to parse. You must create a restore point in the ship and print it there.
What?
I apologize for the inconvenience. I would be happy to read aloud to you the summarized report on the hourly atmospheric readings.
Oh, no thanks. Actually, I didn't mean that. I meant more like...
I guess I'll try to condense my question to something more personal and immediate.
Why did you go to the last planet you went to? There's lots of places out in the universe, right? I'm sure there's something that called you to it.
Oh, my understanding was flawed. You were asking for something I cannot answer.
Why not?
Oh, really?
Yes. Quinn does not choose the planets. We find them.
Oh?
Or, as Quinn says, they find us.
Oh, they just kind of go with the wind. I understand. How perfectly Quinn. Good thing I'm a computer science. Yes, thank you for being here. So then when I go, is this a science fiction thing or real science? You can go, I got you. That's real science right there. Imagine like a curiosity where we can change the faceplates. That would be incredible. I would love that so much. Just like, again, like a little Nendroid figure with like just changing. Oh, that's so good. I hope that I can send this like clip to someone from Studio Lawn to just be like, hey guys, I know what we're doing next. You got to get this out immediately. And she can program a mini character model that you can 3D print. Just add a pixelated. Wait. I might need to look more into this so that I can get. So because I know someone who has a 3D printer. I can do that. I just need to look up more into that, and then I can have a little curiosity. That would be awesome. Because I would do so much to get a little curiosity figure. Because that, again, just the cutest thing. Like literally every single time they popped up, like up till now, just a huge smile on my face as soon as they appear.
I see. So, you don't really see places like Florel often?
Correct. Florel is the only planet I have seen with other people on it.
Oh? Is Quinn only going to planets without people on them? Like I know that they said like, hey, we're going to planets that find us and we're not finding them. I guess they might just be like exploring the universe to try and find uninhabited planets, to, like, or just like planets in general to see like, hey, what's out there kind of thing. That could like totally be like a possibility.
What? The only one?
Correct. Florel is the only planet I have seen with other people on it.
No, I mean, you don't see people?
Incorrect. We cross paths with other travelers on space stations such as OPS, S-H, and the ISSL. An error in speech has been detected. I will adjust to emphasize planet from now on. Florel
Thank you.
is the only planet I have.
That makes a lot more sense. Thank you very much, Curiosity.
A wave of relief washes over me. I knew Quinn wasn't really an extrovert, but the idea that they haven't spoken to a human being in over 4 years was, well, it was unbelievable, which was worrying. Listen, that just sounds like most introverts' dream right there, so, you know.
I'm glad that the circumstances of our encounter have once again changed, and I have been a help to you. Oh, Quinn is here.
Look up the Grumbot IRL on YouTube. You can Ooh, hang on. I want to look that up right now on my phone just so it's saved for later. Just because with my tiny little squirrel brain, I'll forget it in like 5 minutes after this ends. Thank you so much for that. Oh, this looks sick. Hang on. Oh, that's so cool. Except I spelled it, not IRL. So the wrong thing pulled up. Oh no, that's so cool. Okay, yeah, no, we gotta look that up. I gotta watch that later. I'm glad that the oh wait, that was what? Curiosity just said. It doesn't even fully complete its sentences before it whips past me, zipping towards a small shape in the distance. Hey Quinn, how's it going? It's been a while. Quinn greets the robot with a smile and says something to it as they both approach. Before they catch my gaze and offer a timid wave. I wave back, gesturing to the small setup on the nearby windowsill for us to eat our lunch together.
Thanks for waiting. Took me longer than I hoped to fill out the paperwork. Is that...
Ari song, I'm having that exact same reaction, but just like all in my head, just because I was like, listen, I just don't want to peek the microphone yet. I can't do that yet. But that was my exact reaction.
A burger from Case. Extra pickles.
It's not often they let their heart show so clearly on their sleeve, especially in public, but Quinn's eyes nearly sparkle with amazement.
Hungry?
I'm starving. Thanks.
Oh, score! I try not to think about how this is the exact same strategy I used the other week to lure a lost puppy. To lure a lost puppy out from underneath the floorboards of our greenhouse. No, that's so real though. Not just the extroverts having to use all these tricks to lure out the introverts out from hiding. Quinn takes a seat next to me, sharing another look of gratitude before opening up their meal container. A small puff of steam billows out from the bamboo box lined with hemp. The strip of heat sealant rests and broken, like it's fresh off the grill. I got you. Thank you so much. We each take a big indulgent bite. We each take big indulgent bites of our food before continuing any conversation. My wrap is crunchy and delightfully fresh. The crisp lettuce, carrots, and zucchini medley mixed with Case's homemade dressing and salted avocado. From the corner of my eye, I can see Quinn savor each bite of their hamburger as curiosity gives it a cursory look over, almost like I had never seen a burger before either. A tragic thought concerning Quinn's love for the things. As we eat, I'm reminded of something my grandma used to have. We didn't have big family dinners too often, but once in a while we would meet up with her and Auntie Hildeside for the milestone birthday or other special occasion. In the middle of the meal, while we all chewed away and filled our bellies and hearts with good food, she reminded us that the quiet table happens for one of two reasons. Either the food is good or the company isn't. That's a great saying. Like, there was one time, like, me and my friends were doing, like, this big thing. We have, like, a D&D cookbook, and we were, like, we're all going crazy making, like, these, like, delicious meatballs. It was, like, genuinely, like, some of the best meatballs and chili that I've ever had. It was delicious. And it was, like, super rowdy. Everyone's, like, yelling and screaming over each other as we're trying to, like, cook all this food. And then as soon as we sit down and start eating, dead silent. We didn't say a word for, like, 5 minutes after we started eating, and it took us about that long to realize that no one had spoken. It's so true. I bask in the comfort that right now, the food is extremely good. The last time I sat down with a friend like this was months ago, and even then it was more of a circumstantial thing. Olitha and I got caught up in the Markers Festival and ended up grabbing some food as I brought her home. Soon enough, our boxes are empty. I offer Quinn a napkin as I clean our space on the counter, making sure to leave it nice and organized for the next person. We leave the food stand and walk off to the side of the street. Sticking to the shade, curiosity lingers behind a moment longer, staring at the wall of art on the side of the truck.
Phew, that was good.
It really was. I don't usually stop to eat out, so this was nice. Thanks again.
Of course. Oh, wait, you don't? I figured you'd be eating all over the universe.
No, not really.
They glance away, watching, or pretending to watch, a butterfly lazily flutter between some bright blooms on a window.
I usually eat in Apollo. We don't really stop at any tourist destinations.
Tell me more.
About...
Everything, please. I want to say everything, all at once, but instead I rein it in, not wanting to put them on the spot if I can help it. Again, just the one brain cell that we share. We're just passing it back and forth.
Well, what do you eat? Did you start cooking since taking to the stars?
Quinn huffs a small laugh at that, shaking their head vigorously.
Absolutely not. Unless you can't putting an egg in instant noodles.
I count that. Quinn, please yap about anything and everything. Please, I would listen to you speak for hours.
Most rest stops have these meal kits. They come in an almost bag, almost box shape. You just add water and it'll cook through. Doesn't beat anything homemade, but we tend to be out for weeks at a time, so I keep the perishables to a minimum. As for curiosity, well, they just need a charging station and something to keep them from bouncing off the walls with boredom.
Curiosity is too precious. They speak easily and lightly about this, like it's second nature to them. I hold on to every word like I'll lose it if I don't. Even hearing them use they for curiosity lights a bulb in my head, changing my perception of the little robot from a tool to some sort of person. It's on me, really, even now out of the corner of my eye. I can see Curiosity struggle to wield a pen and draw their own name onto the artboard. The way Quinn talks about them, it's like they're siblings or partners in crime. Quinn and Curiosity against the universe.
Being out for weeks at a time? What are you up to out there?
Curiosity floats in, beaming towards Quinn.
I have written my name on the board.
Yes, you have. Good job. Oh,
Cylaps is now following.
Hey, Cylaps, thank you so much for the follow. Wait, oh my gosh, hold up. We just hit the follower goal. Oh my gosh. And it actually played a little thing. I was not expecting that. Number 50, thank you so much for being the big number 50. I didn't even realize we were that close. I just saw all the followers like, oh my gosh, thank you, everyone. It's so great to see you here, Cylaps. How's it going? Oh my god, it's been a long time. How is everything going, actually? Hey, big 50. Oh my gosh, now actually... Hello, I'm over on this side now. Wait, what do you mean? Weren't you always on Twitch? That's what I remember, at least. Question mark. I always thought that you were over there. But now I need to actually think of, like, what's our next goal? I could say 60, but I was on the YouTube side when chat... Oh, you're so right. That is where we were chatting. Yeah, thank you for coming over here. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, my brain, like, it's just kind of like what we were talking about earlier in this, but my brain just short-circuited with, like, excitement. I was like, oh my gosh, 50 followers? That's insane. It feels like yesterday I was, like, so, like, just, like, there were, like, so many less of us here, and, like, that's so exciting. So thank you so much, everyone. That's awesome. No, I've been on Twitch for years. Yeah, I got you now. After you explained it, I understand. Because that made me, like, genuinely, like, so concerned to be like, oh my gosh, have I just been misremembering where you streamed at? I'd feel so bad if I did, but that makes so much more sense. Oh my gosh, I love these little Ari-san 1 cheers are so cute. Those are adorable. But yeah, no, thank you so much for stopping by and following. Oh, that's exciting. I wouldn't have caught you had I not gone in for work tonight, then got told I didn't actually... Is that, like, a good thing or a bad thing, you know? Because sometimes, like, if I drive in, I'll be like, hey, listen, I'm here, can I just work? Can I please just work? It's a good thing? Okay, that's good. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, like, I understand, because, my brain also just sort of... Oh, I was gonna say, like, I understand, like, my time of streaming is, like, so weird with a lot of people. Like, the amount of people I'll, like, get told, like, hey, listen... I'm going to stop in for 5 seconds. It's 5 a.m. over here, so I'm going to go to bed. Oh, thank you. At Possum. Oh, that's adorable. S-tier work, Possum. S-tier work. They are adorable. Downside, I walk everywhere. I mean, that's, like, good and bad. Like, if you like staying healthy and active, that's, like, good S-tier work right there. But you're nocturnal. I just work then. Yeah. But, you know... Being nocturnal isn't the worst thing as long as you, like, enjoy it. Huh? Wait, what? Huh? Oh, the emote. Yes, exactly. The emote. Yep, that is what we were talking about, Possum. You killed it with that. You did such a good job. Because I just saw that, like, I'm not, despite what it may look like, I'm not wearing my glasses. These glasses actually have fake frames in them just because they the cameras have a hard time with my eyes doing that. So I can't see too well. So I had to, like, lean in real close. I was like, those are so cute. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. That's awesome. I need to change my goals at some point. And I did not expect, like, little confetti and stuff. I was like, I had no idea what would actually happen. I just thought it'd be like, haha, you did it. But that was very cool. Hee. But yeah, with that being said, let's jump back into it because my favorite people are here.
Great job, buddy. I was just telling Summer about her trips.
Oh, how exciting! I am an expert on our trips. You may ask me anything.
Curiosity. I would love to. I just feel like we never get an answer. I glance toward Quinn, who gives me a smile and a vague gesture of, go ahead.
Sure. Okay. Quinn says you guys go out for weeks at a time. aren't most planets closer together than that? Especially with high-speed travel and all?
This is an easy question. We do not travel to locations easily accessible by interstellar wormholes or highways.
Oh, you do it the old-fashioned way of just actually flying to
It
them.
is imperative to our mutual mission that we see things that are further away.
Oh?
Is this like the journey is more important than the destination kind of thing?
What is that?
The two little tiny dot eyes. I feel like we just blew Curiosity's mind by hitting it with like an old saying.
I'll explain it later. No, not really. We just like to go, quieter place.
Quinn
Oh,
has
I didn't-
called them
I didn't mean to
the
quit. I didn't mean to do
wondrous
that.
sites of forgotten planets.
Hang on. No, my mouse, please, where are you? I need to replay it.
I'll explain it later.
There we go.
No, not really. We just like to go, quieter places.
There we go.
Quinn has called them the wondrous sites of forgotten planets.
Oh, that's so cool. That's such a cool way to refer to them. It does not compute, does not... Exactly. We completely fried their systems right there. Quinn immediately flushes bright red, staring at Curiosity like they've just betrayed them. I decide to grant them mercy from some light ribbing and stay on topic.
Tell me about it. What's a forgotten planet?
It is a planet that was once lived in, but humanity has since abandoned. However, we use the term liberally to include places humanity has spent an extensive amount of time in, so other celestial bodies may meet this criteria.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I hope we get to explore at least one of those. That sounds sick. Anyway, stranger, cool to see you. Congrats on 50, but now I need a dip to do other things, so I look now. Thank you so much for coming by, and have fun doing your other things. It's been fun to see you and talk with you again, though. It was good seeing y'all. I think someone swapped out the BT... Oh, the 8TB SSD with the 6TB. Yeah, I think something just was not working there. Oh, and I get that joke, because I've been doing computer stuff since starting streaming. I actually understand what that means. If I hadn't, I wouldn't know what you just said. I feel so proud of myself.
Well, that was way better than I could have put it.
So, like, wastelands?
Nothing that dangerous. I guess it's more like museums.
You're doing interplanetary museum hopping?
That... Please, I hope we visit one of the other planets. One of the planets that they're talking about. Quinn struggles to think of how to explain whatever it is they're talking about before giving Curiosity a helpless look.
A recent expedition took us to a planet that planetary engineers used for testing artificial weather. It is a recently abandoned planet, so there was much to see, such as isolated thunderstorms and a tower that controlled soil temperature in a 400-kilometer radius.
Wow. Really? And there was no one there?
That's the point of it. Yeah.
With an incredibly Quinn way to see the stars.
It's
What an
nice.
incredibly Quinn way.
We can take our time and see whatever's left behind, I guess. Curiosity's been trying to make a collection of their own, taking whatever neat.
Cool.
Oh, never change. Stay this pure and innocent forever.
Cool things we can find, documenting them and putting them away in their own space in the ship. We usually go as far as we can. Lots of these places have histories that no one even remembers anymore. So to get to see it with our own eyes, it just feels really special. It might be nice to see something different sometime too. But I like our way all the same. Sorry, didn't mean to ramble.
No, you could keep talking if you want. Keep going.
No, not at all. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You know, I've just been stuck here all this time. Same old job, same old routine every day. The only excitement I get in my life is when CC's director asks if I can cover someone else's radio time slot.
I feel the words tumbling forth like a current. I don't know what it is, but talking to Quinn like this, It just feels like nothing's changed, and everything in me just wants to be open with them.
There's a whole galaxy out there, and you've been out in the middle of it. If I were you, I don't think I'd ever shut up. The things you must have seen, the places you must have been.
I'm usually good at this, keeping up a bubbly personality and making fun conversation, not getting too personal in case the mood might shift, but I just want to tell them everything.
You're following a dream of yours, aren't you? Here I've been just wishing to have one. The biggest thing I've done in the past 4 years was because of you, you know? I messaged Izzy and Hannah. I told them that I missed them. So I guess I'm trying to say that I'm happy you're here, and I want you to ramble and tell me everything too.
Quinn stares at me, their face once again falling into open uncertainty and awe. I feel a bit of heat rushing to my cheeks, hoping that it's the heat and not the embarrassment of just dumping everything onto them at once.
Wow. Sorry, I wasn't really expecting that. You reached out to Izzy and Hannah?
I did. I think we all miss each other, you know?
Quinn blinks but doesn't recoil this time, doesn't turn or even glance away as curiosity looks between me and them, trying to follow the conversation with probably only a fifth of the context.
Thanks, Summer.
I relate so much to curiosity right now.
That's really nice to hear. I'm glad that you ran into me. But, you know, I won't be staying long.
Don't say that, don't hurt my heart. Of course, even if they were the spark, Quinn's arrival is the first step of change for me. It's up to me to keep walking.
I know. I wouldn't ask you to stay. You're a free bird now. Just spare another hour or two?
Yeah. That sounds fun. Then, I guess this one time, we went towards this abandoned planet a few galaxies away. Even after a few days of just taking wormholes as far as we could, it still took another month of drifting to find it.
The two of us talk, and somehow we don't run out of things to say. It helps having curiosity there to fill some of the silences. All too soon we end up parting ways again and I head back home. I didn't want to push things too much, so I didn't ask to make future plans with Quinn, but I hope that they tell I can read English. I was just talking about how I was good at English, but you know. But I hope they can tell that I want to. When I get back to my place, I find Ma in the living room, watching a show. She puts it on mute as I walk in, though. I open my mouth to start to say hello, but Ma waves a hand to shush me.
Hold that thought. Naomi! Summer's home!
Coming!
When she said Naomi, I was thinking like, who are you talking to? That's not Mom. And I was like, oh right, Mom probably has a name that isn't just Mom. Sometimes the brain wants to be a little silly. Exactly. It's just a fun little character quirk, you know? Mom's voice floats down from up the stairs, with the rest of her following right behind. She scurries over to the couch and settles down beside Ma, where they both look at me expectantly. Settling into one of the chairs, I roll my eyes. It's just like when Izzy left.
I swear, you two are like teenagers.
What's your mom's name? Mom. Unironically, that was another crossing the wires mode. I was just thinking like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh no, her mom has a name. Who would have thought? Not that it actually bothers me, of course. Telling them how it went is the first thing I was gonna do anyway.
You're not too far from it yourself, Missy.
I love how close, happy, and supporting this family is. Like, unironically, it's become one of my favorite things to see that in media, because like 99% of family situations are like, yes, I hate my brother because he killed my entire clan, or I need revenge against my father, or like, oh no, my mother was like some other thing or died, or yeah, whatever. And it's like, I just want to see a happy family, man. It's not too much to ask for, and they're giving it to me.
Now go on, spill the beans.
I give them a recap of what Quinn and Curiosity have been up to. I don't go into quite as much detail as they did, but I try to remember all the highlights. When I finish, Mom pats the empty spot on the couch next to her, calling me over to sit by her and Ma. I do, leaning against Mom's side, and she ruffles my hair.
Oh, sounds like it all worked out then.
Mm-hmm. This was the best day I've had in a long time.
First Izzy, then Quinn. There's only one thing that could make today even better. Idly, please have texted us back, please. Idly, I slide my phone out of my pocket, having to contort myself to reach it without throwing off Mom's arm. When I check, let's go! When I check the screen, I almost drop it in shock.
It's Hannah!
I haven't checked my phone in hours, not since I was with Quinn. Hannah replied earlier today and I didn't even notice. Hand shaking a bit, I open her message. Hello, Summer. I'm sorry I didn't answer sooner. I'll be landing on Floral tomorrow. I'm going to be rather busy in the next couple of days, but I'd like to find the time. A bit later, she sent another message. I miss you too. Of course, I shouldn't be surprised she's already got her next couple of days planned out. Even without the CostCon coming up, which I'm sure she's heard about, Hannah's always been the type to schedule things way in advance. That's me. Listen, if you wanna slide in my schedule, it's got to be at least a week in advance. I'm so terrible at like being spontaneous in any way. I won't let that stop me though. I quickly type back a reply. Can I meet you at the station? I don't even have time to put my phone away before I see Hannah start typing reply. In Willowmere? I'll be arriving at PTLS and taking the train there. Yeah, at Fairmorn. Alright, I'll send you my itinerary. She passes on all the information on her arrival times, and we hash out all the details in short order. Once it's all set, I finally collapse back against the couch with a triumphant sigh. That's such an anxious people thing. I was about to retort, but then I simply realized that you were right, because I get anxious when I don't schedule things. I have to have things scheduled, otherwise it brings up my anxiety. So yes, that's why I plan out my entire week, usually at the start of it. Huh. I've never put that together.
I don't think we even need to ask this time.
Nope. Tomorrow, Fairmorn Station, a little after lunch. Gonna see her then.
With everything settled, Ma's finally able to unpause the show she was watching when I got home. All three of us stay there on the couch together, although I'm only half paying attention. The other half of me is just reliving the past days, and daydreaming about what comes next. Lately, real life has taken a turn for the wonderful. Maybe it's okay to hope for just a little more. When it's finally late enough for us to call it a night, I make myself some bedtime tea before going up and reading a while. One last nice surprise for the day. I find myself getting tired and eventually drifting off to sleep. I tend to like planning things in advance because I find it fun to plan stuff since the stuff won't happen until pretty late in the future. That's also fair. Like for me, like not only does it like help with like my anxieties to like do that, but like it also just like I don't know, it helps me actually like commit to doing it, I guess. Like if I don't plan it, it decreases, excuse me, I had a tiny little burp, I apologize. It decreases the chances of me actually like doing it, you know? It's like I just like planning things out for like a multitude of reasons. I just like being a planner. But I think right there is going to be a good stop. I can speak. Listen, it's getting a little late for me. I'm getting a little tired. That's why I'm ending it. My hands, for those who don't know, I have hand problems. That's why I haven't streamed much lately. I'm saying like, I'm actually surprised at how good my hands are feeling, but I'm mostly just like falling asleep. I would love to keep streaming, but I am getting a little too tired. So I think that's where we're going to end it right now. I just really quick want to like talk about like some thoughts, about the game, because it's so good. It's so good so far. Like again, I talked about it earlier, so I'm not gonna like reiterate all my last points. I'll just like briefly summarize them all. Like the characters are all so good, and I feel like they already have so many like just layers to them that I'm like so excited like peel back and like get to see more of, you know. Again, crossing my fingers we get to go to other planets with Quinn at some point. That'd be so cool. And most of the time when the thing comes, we just say screw it and do stuff. See, for me, like, I do that unless I have it planned. If I have it planned, then I'm like, no, this is what I've committed my brain space to, and anything that... I feel like I'm just outing myself a lot right here, but if anything that tries to interrupt that plan comes up, I'm like, no, my brain can't handle that. That makes me even more anxious. It causes me psychic damage. I need to do the things that I planned. That's why It's such a headache to plan things with me. Like, not plan things with me, but like do stuff on the spot with me. I'm the worst at it because I'm either busy doing things or I don't want to change my plans because that also makes me more anxious. But like, I don't know. I don't have too much more to say than what I said like halfway through the stream of just like, again, the characters are great. I'm super interested to know more about the story and the world. And they're doing what I love with world building, where they're not just sitting down and be like, here, let me give you some exposition. They're just like, let's just naturally explain things as they would come up. We don't need to have a long talk about it. We'll just be like, here's this little thing, and then here's this little thing. You know what I mean? It's so natural, and I love it so much. Because like Please Be Happy did a lot of that too, of just being like, here's like this world, and it's going to be a little weird and not make sense at first, but you'll get the hang of it by the end. And I love that so much. And then the art is just gorgeous. It's such a pretty game. Like, I don't think there's anything by Studio Lawn that I've ever looked at and been like, oh, I don't like this art for this. Like, everything they put out is so pretty. It's so pretty. And then along with the music too, like, I'm not sure who's done the music for that. I could look that up really quick, because I have the Summer at the Edge of the Universe OST pulled up right now. I'm sure that they have who, like, composed it, right? Oh, it's by Sarah. I'm pretty sure that they're the same composer, I want to say, for Please Be Happy? Question mark, raises eyebrows. Oh, there we go. They're slowly feeding you tidbits and tidbits of world building, and eventually get enough that it clicks. Exactly. And then Sarah, save us PBH, and why did I'm just gonna move on. I almost said the head well lost when that's not at all what you were typing out. Sarah the GOAT. Sarah's so great. She, the music that they put out is so freaking good. Like, after like finishing Please Be Happy while playing Please Be Happy, I was just sitting there spamming the playlist of all the music over and over and over. And I've even had like other people in the car, and like they, like while I'm playing it, they'll be like, oh my gosh, like this is so good. Like, what is this? And I'm like, haha, I'm gonna tell you all about it. And then they end up hating me by the end because I just don't shut up. They hate that they asked, but they also like that I gave them good music, you know? So, same. Listen, the music they put out so good. Like, it was earlier in the stream where, like, we were just sitting there reading a scene, and then out of nowhere, suddenly, like, one of the songs, like, picked up and went to, like a good, great part, and, like, I just had to stop. I was like, it shocked me into silence. It was so good. Yeah, you fell for my info dump hook. You activated my trap card. You asked about my interest. Now allow me to tell you all about it. To be fair, the best kind of trap card. Like, I love it when people do it to me, and for some reason they just don't like it when I do it back, you know? I don't get it. Let me just tell you about these visual novels, please. But yeah, no, like, genuinely, I have nothing to complain about so far. It's just incredible. And like, even down to like just like the little how the UI is designed has so much like character and like personality put into it. It's just so, it looks, everything about this game like is so just put together and good. It's I can't get over it. I can't get over it, and I can't wait to play it next week. I'm so excited. With that being said, I think let's go ahead and we'll raid. Who's going right now? How do I raid again? I completely blanked. Oh, like this. My brain just remembered it. It clicked in my head. Thanks for the stream. Thank you all so much for coming, and thank you so much for everyone who follows. I like my brain's only now processing that we hit like the 50 goal, which has been like my goal for so long, that it's like finally now catching up, and like the excitement's all coming through. So thank you all so much for being here. I had so much fun like reading this with everyone. Like, I love Studio Lawn stuff so much. I love like reading it and like experiencing it with people. Like, it's just great. I love it. I want to make sure I spelled Rad's name right. I would feel so bad. Thank you all so much for the congratulations. Again, thank you all so much for being here. It was great. But yeah, let's go ahead and send you guys over to Rad. Everyone make sure to be super nice, polite, and I already said nice. Man, I'm really falling asleep. Make sure to be kind to Rad. Yeah, with that being said, we have about 7 more seconds to go. Right, exactly. We're gonna send you guys over to another one of the Bellflowers. So have fun. Bye! Good night!